what's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas. But we're broadcasting all over the world via Facebook Live and YouTube Live. It's Baby Friday. Yes, Baby Friday. It's really Thursday, but to us it's our Friday because the show is not on Friday. We get a chance to do it, other things that we do and get prepared for Monday. But it's a great day. Somebody said they love my active background. Wow, I like that. That's what you call it? Okay. Thank you to my people who hooked that up for me. Thank you so much, Miss Tammy. It's Women Rock Wednesday. Women Rock Wednesday, right? No. It's not Women Rock Wednesday. I'm sorry. It's see that I love Women Rock Wednesday so much, but it's a Baby Friday, and as customary, we always start the show off recognizing our starting five, and those are the five people we affectionately call the starting five because they are the first five to sign up onto the Chop Shop feed. And those people today are Mindy Collins, Thaddeus Moody, Chris Charles, Kimberly Jackson, Jessica Brooks. Yeah, them women was in there. Them women was in there today, guys. Yeah, them women was in there 3-2. I like that. Sixth man of the day is Lil Rick Wilmore. Then we got Rod Wells. Let me see who else we got. Let me go. You know how to go down the line. I got Marissa. Hey, Marissa. Hey, Jeremy. What's up, Tiffany? Daryl Anderson in the building. Who else we got? Odyssey. Oh, Odyssey. Oh, I'm going to pray for Odyssey. Tammy Allen is in the building. Shaquetta. Hey, Craig. What's up, baby? Craig Baham. What's up, Corey? A lot of stuff going on in Dallas. Corey, how come you didn't tell me? You text me about everything. How come you didn't tell me about Arteria Morris and teaming up with Keontae George? You didn't tell me that for next year. Who else we got? Let me see who else we got in there. Walter Yates. Hey, Gina. Hey, Miss Lofton. Gina Lofton. Hey, what Mr. Lofton at? But hey, Gina, I'm glad you taking over though. But it's good. But Kenneth, don't let Gina run you off the show now. See how I am being messy. Who else? Who else we got? Who else? Hey, Tamika. There's Joe Baldridge, Sonia Billingsley, Chatterbox Hell is in the building. That man said, "Why I hate you, boy." Let me tell you something. When we get off the air, I'm going to call you and tell you why that's an oxymoron. I can't hate nobody. I'm too blessed to hate somebody. I just put it like that. Can't hate. Can't hate on nobody, especially you. But what's up, Kevin Hampson? Hey, Hamp, what's up, baby? It's crawfish season going to be over soon. Very soon, man. What's up? Yeah, Corey Willis. But y'all, let me tell you something. I think Chris Walker gonna join us again today. But Odyssey, you switched up. Odyssey usually be on Facebook, but thank you for coming on YouTube. But let me. This is how I'm gonna start this thing. Let me see. You know I always got something. First of all, let me see. Don't start nothing, Freight. Great conversation with you, Freight, yesterday. After the show, but I always, y'all, I want to make sure now. Do me a favor. Let's text tag, and tell somebody about the Chop Shop. Okay, do me a favor. Let them know that the Chop Shop is on right now. Okay, y'all got all them devices. I know y'all, all these people on here. I know how resourceful y'all are. Y'all can do it. Tell them that you're inviting them because you care about their well-being, their welfare, and their family. So watch the Chop Shop because we're going to give you something that's going to help somebody in your family. But happy birthday to Willie Mays. He has his 90th birthday today. Great guy. I'm glad he's still going strong, but I saw some. Franklin Paul, what's up? Great Frank. I saw some yesterday. I can just bring on Chris. Chris, get ready. I'm gonna bring you in. I don't want you over there looking out, like Shaq had the other day. Shaq had a big booger hanging out his nose on the show the other day and picked it out. Yeah, so I want to make sure y'all right. Yeah, you're looking good. You're looking good over there. Y'all Google that, Shaq and the big booger. But Chris and Franklin Paul, Kevin, I saw something, man. My favorite couple. I was in Ithaca, New York, when they dedicated and opened the new Bill and Melinda Gates computer building on Cornell campus. I was at the ribbon cutting, and I got to see them, and my favorite couple, and now they split up. Chris is about $100 and some billion split, $125 billion split, Chris. And guess what old Melinda did? She rented out they call it's the Calavigny Island in Grenada. The island, Chris. I didn't say she rented out the hotel, Chris. Y'all better listen to me. The Calavigny Island in Grenada to avoid the media after her divorce announcement. The private island goes for. Let me give me a drink, y'all. Let me tell you, Chris. The private island goes for $130,000 a day, Chris. But Chris, they said she can stay on that island for the rest of her life and she still won't go broke paying them prices. Chris, just shake your head at that. Just shake your head at that. I know there's nobody.
I read some of the details. Did you see the ex-girlfriend detail?
What ex-girlfriend?
Oh man, you got to read the details.
Come on, give it to me. Wait a minute.
No. Let people go do some digging.
Okay, but whose ex-girlfriend? Whose?
Bill Gates got to spend so much time with his ex-girlfriend every year. I forgot what the clause they called it in his marriage decree.
Boy, it's good to be rich, man. Man, it's good to be rich. Oh, hey, baby, we gonna get married now, but I got to spend some time with little mom. You my wife. But I got to spend, and we can put it in writing. If you need a couple of dollars, I get. Oh.
And she didn't have a prenup.
Oh yeah, he didn't. He didn't have a prenup.
He didn't have a prenup. I'm sorry.
He didn't have a prenup. But she was there. But in her defense, she was there when he was getting jump shots up in the gym. Okay, let's get it straight. She didn't need him.
They got married in '94.
Yeah.
Oh, he was rich way before then.
Yeah, but he wasn't big. This Bill Gates. Microsoft, Microsoft in '94, Jim, Chris, in Microsoft.
'94, he was way ahead of the curve.
Yeah, but guess what? He wasn't this Bill Gates. Huh?
He had some billions. He didn't have 157 billion, but he had some billions.
Well, I don't know. I got to look that up. I like to look that up. But all I'm saying is good. I saw that. I said, man, I got to share that with my people. And Chris. What you got pressing today? When you come on, I know. Chris, we haven't even talked about your book. And I know
I got ambushed by this Tristan Thompson thing, man. I got ambushed this morning. What's up with your homeboy?
My homeboy? What did he do?
Yeah.
What did he do? I haven't read it yet. What did he do?
Khloe Kardashian. That's your homeboy.
I know, but what did he do?
He tied up with another Instagram model again. He done something
else.
Oh,
man, hey, man, let me tell you something, player. And I'm going to be real with y'all. I'm a mature guy now, right? But if I was young and I was rich and Instagram was at my disposal, all I have to do is DM and put on a private plane, Chris, y'all be talking about me today. I'm just telling you.
So you saying Deshaun Watson?
I love the Lord and everything.
Situation makes sense to you. So you saying Deshaun Watson situation makes sense to you?
No, his don't. But Tristan Thompson, come on, man.
But Hatter, he's with a billionaire. What's he doing? A billionaire.
He got money too.
Okay, I'm just saying. I know it's not Women Rock Wednesday, but he's with a billionaire.
But Chris, if she leave him, hold up. If she was to leave him tomorrow, his lifestyle is not going to change. A lot of people stay in situations because what? They don't want, I'm accustomed to this. I'll never forget. Chris, and I got to figure out a way to say this. I don't want to be too profound. I want to be profound, but I don't want to be profane. But Chris Tucker not Chris Tucker. Chris Rock was talking about his divorce settlement. And when they go into divorce settlement, and the wife talking about, I'm accustomed to this, and I'm accustomed to this, and I'm accustomed to this. You know, that was the woman said. He said, well, I'm accustomed to doing something to you 3 or 4 times a week. Do I get some of them kind of payments? Women, hold up. I wish I could say it. Somebody say it. Hold up. He said, I'm accustomed to knocking you off. I'll put it like knocking you off 3 or 4 times.
Something wrong with you.
Do I get some, hold up, while I'm giving this money, do I get some knockout payments? I mean, wait, I'm just asking. I'm asking for myself. I'm not asking for a friend.
I'm not touching that.
What?
I understand. I'm just saying that the dude can't stay out of the news, man. He can't stay out of the news.
Hold up. But I heard Chloe go DM the girl.
Mm-hmm.
See, I saw that part. What?
No, DM the girl, and then she screenshotted it.
Huh?
She screenshotted it and put it on Instagram.
Wow. Hey, I know that's going to make y'all think. And women, I don't mean y'all know I love y'all. But think about that, Mindy, you know, not y'all now. The girls on this show, Tamika, y'all wouldn't do this. But some of these girls, Your Honor, I'm accustomed to this. Your Honor, I'm accustomed to 4 or 5 trips to Vail. I'm accustomed. What? I'm accustomed.
I'm entitled to.
Huh?
They're entitled to that? That's what they're accustomed to?
No, she said she accustomed. In other words, that's how me and him been living. That's true. He got to keep me living like this.
Well, hold on, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
If he had kids, does he have to keep the kids living like that?
Yeah.
So why can't he keep the wife living like that?
Yeah. Well, but all I'm saying, I don't mind.
I know a guy. I'm about to tell you something crazy. I don't know if it's true. I know a guy. I don't want to say who he is, but he's in sports, who has to, and I didn't know this, who has to pay alimony until the lady's dying days if she don't get married. I'm like, hold on, what? Whoa, you caught me off guard. The kid's grown up. He paid his child support, out the house, right? In another year, I said, well, you scot-free now. You did your job. He said, no, I didn't. I got to pay alimony until she gets married. I said, well, why would she get married then?
Dude, he must have did something real bad. God. Hey,
I don't know.
He must
listen. I don't want to say what state it is.
Yeah,
but I was like,
no, Chris, he must have did something real for him to allow that to put in there. He was he might have been under duress. Chris, he might have been under duress. You know how they say, well, he made me sad. They got a new rule. Boy, I love these lawyers. They got a new rule. He made me sign that prenup under duress. Boy, I just love America. And I don't know how we got on this.
What was said was that Tristan Thompson, when the girl put it on Instagram, she got a cease and desist letter the next day. I thought, and I'm not trying to be messy, but I'm going to be a little messy.
Okay.
That some of these guys that we say have these scot-free, clean lives, there's a whole lot of paperwork out there, a whole lot of trees burning from NDAs that they got to sign before they go to certain places.
How what? Who?
So let me ask you a question. In that situation, Hatter, do you blame the women who go and sign these NDAs and they go these boat trips and islands and stuff, or do you blame the players who are continuously doing that, or you blame them both?
Jimmy, I'm not Rick. I'm not blaming both. You got to understand, all your NDA and all your I call them waivers, is to protect your inheritance. Even a prenup, if you go look at the history of it, it's to protect your inheritance. It's to protect a woman or a man who come in a relationship with you, and they're able to get all of your inheritance and stop your kids from getting inheritance. All of this stuff, Chris. Of course, you should sign something. But always remember, every contract can be broken. Even the waivers. You remember, I told, well, you hadn't been on the show. All of my clients, when they have big parties, I can tell it now. LeVar Arrington had a big party. He had a state in DC, played for the Washington, well, they were the
Football.
Redskins then. I mean, when I tell you, I cut the whole party off. And he said, why? I said, no, we can't have this many people coming in your mansion, dude. You're responsible. They got jet skis, they got boats, because he had a lake in the back of it. I said, you are responsible. So guess what, Chris? You couldn't drive to the house. You have to go to an undisclosed place. You have to get on a bus, like a bus, and police escort and everything. We had to spend a lot of money. But guess what, Chris? To get on that bus, before you get on that bus, you had to sign a non-disclosure and a waiver saying, whatever happens to you in this party, young lady, if somebody throw you in the pool and your Gucci purse or your wig get messed up or whatever, no, because it happened to me first in Houston. So I had to make sure, and he got more to lose than I. So they had to, and the people signed up. We had a great time, no incident, because those people know to get into this party. It was the party of the century. To get into a day party, it was a day party that lasted all day. So you have to
protect yourself. Is what
you have to protect yourself. You're protecting your inheritance, man. Because you got to understand, you got lawyers rock around here on their license plates with SUE on them. I sue. Everybody want to sue somebody, Chris. So I just wanted to add that to, players, if you know a player, protect yourself, man. And protect yourself. That's all. I wanted to share that quick, Chris.
So no one's safe then. So you're saying like you just can't be a regular guy and just go out somewhere and you want to have a Coca-Cola and a sandwich, go on the subway. You got to worry about who's taking a picture of you. You got to worry about the paparazzi. You got to worry about if you try to contact somebody online, go on Tinder. You can't do nothing. Is that what you tell them?
Yeah.
You can't DM somebody. You can't go on Facebook. It's going to get screenshot.
Yeah.
Your whole life in a vacuum is just over.
Yes.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yes. Yes. To whom much is given, much is required. That's biblical. Chris, wow. I tell people all the time, I'd rather be rich. I don't want to be famous. But Chris, I told a story. Sonia and Alfio, I told this story, Chris. I don't know if you was on the show this time. Chris, we were in Vegas for the summer league. Me and my son, we had this thing every summer. We go spend 2 weeks at the summer league. So we want to watch summer league. So we at the summer league. So the first day we hanging out with two former NBA players, another former NBA player, that's a coach. You can name, I don't want to call them names, but we hanging out with these three guys. We at the pool, sitting out at the pool, just chilling, line, everybody coming over. Autograph. Can I have that? We couldn't even eat. The man in the middle of biting his sandwich and look and had to say, can we? So these just players, right? So the exact next day we had a meeting because my thing, I wanted to introduce my son to every owner and every general manager that he can meet. So the next day we were eating with Steve Ballmer, one of the richest men on the planet. Google him, Steve Ballmer. He owns the Clippers. Chris, not one person said nothing to us. Not one person came on to the table. Not one person. We sit there and had a great lunch, got out of there, and nobody said nothing. Chris, that's just the way it's it. This is a groupie society.
Well, if it was Mark Cuban, they would, but no one knows who Stan Kroenke is.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So you're right. They didn't know who it was, and that's how
I said I'd rather be rich than famous. That's the point that I'm trying to make. Mark Cuban want to be. He own everything. He own the Shark. He own everything. And by the way, I think I don't know if Mark Cuban on Shark Tank. I shout out to the young fellow who did the grind. That grind, the portable shooting machine. He's supposed to be on Shark Tank, pitching his machine on Shark Tank. Young kid out of this community, Chris. Somebody helped me with his name. I don't really know him that good, but he came on the show before, but somebody help me with his name if you want to put it up there. But Chris, yes, Chris.
Man, I was on a. I gotta share this. I was out last night having dinner with a group of guys, and you get a group of dudes. They start going 9 different directions, and it turns into a barbershop match. And I actually had this dude tell me, Hatter, that Bobby Hurley in college was better than Greg Anthony when he played for UNLV, was better than Mark Jackson when he played at St. John's, was better than Sherman Douglas when he played at Syracuse. We argued for about 2 hours straight on Cinco de Mayo. Did you hear what I just said? I say, well, they start having this conversation. I love the chop shop to chime in. We probably talked about it before. The old school versus the new school.
Okay.
Right? So the point I was making is, hey, man, listen, there are a lot of guys that play today. The game is better today. Players are more adaptable. They're longer. They're bigger. They're faster. They're stronger. They train more. But if you think for 2 seconds that some of these college guys, not the pro guys, some of these college guys, we had the conversation about Jalen Brunson that plays at Villanova. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I say Jalen Brunson's a good player, but would you take Jalen Brunson or Mark Jackson?
Mark Jackson.
They were shouting at me. You crazy. They say, would you take, hold on, let me finish.
Okay.
They say, would you take Jalen Brunson or would you take, who was the other guy? Mark Jackson. And they said, would you take Jalen Brunson? I forget who the player I mentioned. It was either Dana Barrows, because we were talking about the old Big East. And I was saying, man, do y'all understand what Patrick Ewing was back then? Do you understand what the Big East was back then? I don't know if y'all never remember the name Walter Berry.
Yes.
From back in the day.
Yes.
I say, would you rather have Boo Harvey or Bobby Hurley? But what mesmerized me when I said Greg Anthony, I said, Greg Anthony, UNLV smoked Duke the first time and won like damn near 100 games in a row, and they got upset in the championship. I said, but do you know how many years that Greg Anthony played in the NBA? I'm sitting there going like, am I missing something?
Were they kidding?
Pro players are better. I think the pros are better, but the college players ain't better because they stayed 4 years back then. Am I missing something, Hatter?
I mean, I'm just trying to. I would have, that's what I love about you. You're a great guy. Cause Robert Hatter would have said, man, I would have went and told the guy, whoever, the waitress. I said, waitress, look at him. I'm here, my credit card. Cash me out on this one, and I would have got up and left. I can't.
I'm saying so. Was Bobby Hurley better than Rod Strickland? Listen, I'm just telling you what I was dealing with last night. Because what I said to myself, because here's the point. Because we got into this KD thing. And I'm about to say something that everybody gonna think is crazy. I'm sitting there going back and forth. You know what these New York dudes. And I said, man, we started getting into the conversation, LeBron and MJ. You already know where that's going with me. So then they brought up the players that played back in the day, like Magic Johnson. They said Kevin Durant is a transcendent player. I agree. But they said Magic Johnson was trash. I said, hold on, man. Hold on. If you're telling me.
No, Chris, I'm laughing at this. Chiquetta ain't no good, but keep going. She talking about, I would have cut somebody out. Keep going, man.
Magic couldn't do this. Magic can do that. I said, man, you got to pick somebody else. You can't pick Magic Johnson, man. You know what I'm saying?
I'm done, Chris. Keep talking, Chris. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
What this guy said.
I'm sorry, man.
But seriously, like the new school players and the pros, I think, are better than some of the old guys. But in college, that's not the case.
I see what you're saying.
Adam Morrison, who was taking Adam Morrison back then? Who's taking Adam Morrison or Doug McDermott? Come on, man. You think they could have played for Syracuse?
Chris, Chris, they had to have a point. What was their point?
The point was the players in college, just like someone would say, the players in the pros are better than the players in the pros back then, back in the day when John Lucas and them tight shorts, them long socks, and that mustache. I'm saying they think the players in college today are better than the players back then. I'm like, you guys are crazy. There's no way.
Nah.
Y'all got to understand, Chris Mullin played in college, man.
Yeah.
For 3-4 years. Well, no, they.
Yeah.
Roy, I mean, how about your boy Melvin Turpin? Like, I'm
Yeah.
like, well, who was Melvin Turpin today? Or who was the little point guard y'all had, Hatter?
Who?
Little Mighty Mouse. Little jet quick guard that Memphis had.
Oh, Andre Turner. Elliot Perry.
Andre Turner today?
Elliot Perry. Which one?
No, Andre Turner, not Elliot. I remember Elliot Perry too, but Andre Turner. I'm saying people don't realize what college basketball was back then.
Oh, he's the kid. Hold up. Stop. Let me tell you. He is the head coach at Lane College now in Tennessee.
Get out of here.
He the head coach. He was a high school coach for a long time. Now he's a coach. Don't give me my plug. That's my running
but
mate.
Memphis, people don't realize Memphis. Y'all bought all them dudes, but people don't realize how good Memphis was back in the day because Dana Kirk was a thief. But listen though, here's the thing. The question is, what I'm saying is, are the NBA players, and I know they're going to chop me up, are the NBA players today better than the NBA players yesterday, back in the day? I got to figure out we can say the 80s, or we can start with Mike.
Okay.
Clyde Drexler with his no left-hand dribbling ass. Or you can say the college players, are they better than the college players of yesterday? So think about it. Baylor won the championship, right?
Yeah.
They got the 2 point guards.
Huh?
Right?
Yeah.
The 2 guards they got, Butler and the other kid.
Yeah. And right? Davion Mitchell.
Davion Mitchell.
Uh-huh.
Are they better than, let's say they played against, Allen Iverson will be more new school, but would you take Davion Mitchell or would you take Mark Jackson?
Mark Jackson.
I'm just saying, like, I go on and on and on. Would you take Jared Butler? Would you take Rod Strickland or David Rivers? Remember David Rivers?
David Rivers. See,
from Notre Dame back in the day.
I think the guys you talking about, me personally, were on the Baylor guys were on a good team. Those other two guys are way better players. You just mentioned.
But this is what we're talking about. These were all Americans though.
Yeah.
So this is what we got to talk about.
Yeah.
So then they got into it, and I'm a Villanova guy. They were talking about Jalen Brunson. I say, man, listen, man, I love Jalen Brunson. I'm a Villanova guy that played on a good team.
Right.
But let's relax here for a second.
Right.
And understand that the dudes, he was the college player of the year. So I'm going to talk about dudes that are the most elite players in college. You remember Pooh Richardson? Come on now.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was some dudes.
Yeah.
Somebody mentioned Kenny Anderson.
Oh my goodness. Hold up. Hold up, man. A lot of people, because he didn't
Pearl Washington. I said, you wish you had Bobby Hurley over Pearl Washington.
Pearl Washington and Kenny Anderson.
But this is what I'm arguing with, though.
Yo, Chris, it's called recency bias. A lot of that is called recency bias, Chris. I mean, that's a great topic. And Chris, what I love about it, I love that everybody has an opinion about it. I mean, I feel a certain way. Like if I was there with you, I probably would have been arguing with you, and that's almost unheard of because I never agree with you. But I agree with you on that.
That's because you're not wise all the time.
Sometimes I know, but guess what? You know what I found out? I would agree with you, but then both of us would be wrong. So that's why I just don't agree with you. You'll get that by the time you get home in the car.
And here was the thing we got into. Here's the thing we got into, Hatter. Mookie Blaylock. That's another one. You know, I'm just saying, like, I'm looking at these guys and they're talking. I'm like, guys, do y'all understand the kind of dudes that played back then? So I would be like, y'all see St. John's right now. Yeah. Do you understand who St. John's had back in the day? They would have Chris Mullin. They would have Boo Harvey. They would have Shelton Jones, Jason Williams, Malik Sealy, Willie Glass. Like, y'all don't understand what that was back then.
But they wasn't back there looking at it, Chris. That's what it was.
Like you say, it's recency bias. So now let's talk about the NBA.
Okay.
Let's talk about the NBA.
Okay.
Right? And so I said, obviously, they kill me with LeBron, so I'll take it on the chin. But I'm like, okay, give me Kevin Durant today.
Okay.
So boom. I know they chiming in. They talking about Chris Jackson, whatever. Would you, if you had to start a team today, Hatter, I'm gonna ask you right now, you're on the spot.
All right.
Would you rather have Magic Johnson or would you rather have Kevin Durant? If you're starting a team
today,
starting a franchise, would you rather have Magic or Kevin Durant?
I want Magic.
They all thought I was crazy because I said Magic Johnson.
I want Magic.
I mean, they made me look crazy. Man, please. I could have got thrown out that place yesterday.
No.
I'd rather have Magic Johnson.
Hey, Chris, it's hard. If you wasn't back there watching that, a lot of people, because they look at him now and look at the debacle over at the Lakers, like the GM part and the coaching, he's not good. But man, I'm going to put it like this. I'll put it like this, Chris.
We talking about a franchise guy.
I understand. I like what you said, Chris. But I just want people to recognize this, and they can disagree or agree. Chris, Magic Johnson and Larry Bird saved the NBA. Before they came out and played in the NBA, listen to me, your guys, I hope Chris guys are listening. Share the show right now, y'all. Let's share the show. Magic Johnson and before they came into the league, the finals were on tape delay. They didn't show it live. When those two guys came in the league, Magic saved the league. I don't know if Kevin Durant can save his damn self, but Magic saved the league. And I told y'all, Michael Jordan made the game global, and LeBron James made the game mobile. Those three guys, and this stuff that Stephen Curry is doing now, when Allen Iverson said, somebody was talking about it the other day, they said, Allen Iverson is the biggest critic. It's hard to please him. But he said, Allen Iverson said, man, I know I've been talking all this stuff, man, but this Stephen Curry, I ain't never seen nothing like it, ever. Allen Iverson, y'all know how he is. Chris, you know how he is.
Yeah.
He said, he got kids. I put it like this. That's why I had to put him in there too. He got people don't want to draft. What you said a minute ago about the other day about Garza, guys like Garza can't even get drafted no more because he eliminated the position. Steph Curry,
he eliminated. You got to be able to switch. You got to be able to guard him.
Yes. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Guys like, what's his name? Dwight Howard used to be stars. No, dude, you got to stretch the floor because you got this guy that's just, man, my son, he's the most, he worse than Allen Iverson. He gonna text me last night. Daddy, you was right. Steph.
He's one of the best shooters ever to live. He's one of the best shooters ever to live.
I know, but a lot of people don't give him his credit.
That's because, you already know what. I had a coach. Listen. I wish I get so much inside information. I just wish I could say it sometimes. Mm-hmm. I had somebody tell me today, a coach that works for another guy, that said a black coach said, I don't recruit light-skinned players. I'm telling you right now, they said it. He said, what? He said, I don't recruit light-skinned kids.
He's a freaking clown.
Red nose.
Freaking clown.
Ain't that crazy?
But hey, Chris, we know.
So why are they disrespecting Steph Curry? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Okay.
There's a disrespect because he's more than proved that he should be what everyone should say he is. Chris, it's absolutely ridiculous. Man.
Chris, I'm gonna help you out a little bit more. We had a group of guys in a few cliques in the NBA. Was hating on him. Your boy isn't one of the cliques.
LBJ, come on, man. Stop.
Yes, I'm telling you, man.
Not hating on him, hating on the way they're treating the situation. Not hating on Steph. Okay. Not hating on Steph. Hey, hating on the way that the media is portraying the situation. Trying to compare and contrast. Not even fair. Don't talk about Steph Curry and LeBron in the same breath. Do not do that. Do not do that.
He did.
Do not do that.
Chris,
but don't do that.
I put it like this. Okay. Don't do that. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, y'all remind me. I'm gonna bring receipts. I'm gonna bring receipts. And let's take a break. And since you said that, let's take a quick break.
Take a long break. Say that, man. Where's Jimmy at?
Chop Shop, we'll be back in a minute, man. This Chris Walker is unbelievable.
McGee with the ball to pull up.
Welcome back to the Chop Shop. Chris, I showed a few highlights of I love when guys post stuff, and Jimmy sent me that from they had the Houston All-Star game, all the Houston players. He told me to cue it up, but he hadn't got on yet, so I wanted to let people know. Who is Malik Presley? Somebody help me if somebody's on here. That's the young guy we saw in the video, the long video. I've never heard of him. I think he plays for the Houston Hoop Clyde Jackson Houston Hoops team, 16 and under. And maybe y'all can tell me, like, who is Malik Presley? I don't know who he is, and help me out, but tell him I played his video. But Chris, we're back now.
Man, why
Chris,
Kevin Freeman mess with me talking about my voice, man?
What do you say about your voice? Why
the Chop Shop always, what he said, what SR in my voice? These dudes, they always chopping on the Chop Shop, boy.
That's what you named it, the Chop Shop, so people can.
Hey, read what Herb has right there, and we're gonna talk about that for a second.
Herb? That's because he can't guard his own. Man, I'm not reading that mess. You read that mess.
No, but it's the truth. Like, some coaches won't recruit light-skinned people, and I'm telling you right now, there are black coaches that say, "I don't want to recruit white kids." That is the truth, man. That is the truth.
So white kids can't defend, and light-skinned kids can't defend. That's what you're telling me.
They for some reason they assume a lack of toughness.
So what color is Klay Thompson? What color is
listen, these aren't my words. I'm just telling you what's going on out there.
What color is I'm asking, what color is Klay? What color is Klay Thompson? Is he light skinned or dark skinned? I'm asking for a friend. Since I'm asking for a friend. What color is? Are we gonna do octoroon, quadroon? Are we gonna do a matrix?
I just asked you a question. Are we going there?
You the one went there.
Way of explaining it.
You the one went there. What color is Klay Thompson? You and her. What color is it? He was on the all defensive team. What color is Rudy Gobert?
Gobert, right. Here's the deal.
Well, I'm asking my question, man.
I'm gonna answer it. I'm just telling you what people in the business say. I'm not saying it's true, but this is colorism, and this is what we go through. And people, I'm telling you, they say stuff like that, or they recruit that way, man. Let me tell you something, man. Why do you think all the white kids that play in the NBA, most of them come from Europe? You trying to tell me there ain't no white kids good enough to play in the NBA here in the United States?
You tell me. Ben Simmons, defensive player of the year, but keep going. Thank you, Steve Hayes. Boy, I love people.
I'm not agreeing. I'm just telling you what people do. And Ben Simmons is from Australia, by the way.
I don't care where he's from.
Okay, I'm just saying. My point is that they make it intentional to take white kids from overseas.
Why?
I'm telling you. To make the game global.
But what does this got to be with defense? Wait a minute. What does this got to be with not being tough and defensive minded? What are you talking about?
Dude, I'm telling you, because of the families they come from, they think these dudes are soft. These are not my words, bro.
I ain't saying it in your words, but didn't you question them? I know you questioned them. I know you just didn't take that as a blanket.
It's colorism in basketball, yes. There are dudes that go to games and be like, man, you know what, man? That dude come from a two-parent home, man. I'm not messing with that dude. Jimmy, am I lying, Jimmy? Will you talk to Hadley? Am I lying, Jimmy? You tell me if I'm not making sense.
I don't know what the hell y'all was talking about. I'm just walking in the door. I ain't no yes, man. I gotta know what's going on first.
Jimmy wasn't gonna let you use him like that. He don't know the context. Yeah. Hey, no, Jimmy, he was.
What I'm saying is, college. Oh, go on, Hadley.
No. Hey, the floor is yours, young man.
College coaches go to games and be like, I don't want to recruit no white kids. I only want to recruit black kids. There are college coaches out there that say stuff like that. And the other thing was
that part is true. Yeah.
Say it again.
Yeah, that part is true. I mean, but that's obvious. Everybody can probably imagine that happens. Yes, that happens from in the coaching in the college coaching ranks. Yeah.
Yes. So the question is, Herb said the reason why guys in the NBA hate on Steph Curry, because he can't guard nobody, and some people say because he light skinned. Because there was a black coach that made a comment that said that I don't like light skinned black kids. And what is he inferring by saying that?
I think on the Steph Curry thing, I just want to add something to it for us. That's not. That's in the middle. That's in the middle of the field. It's not totally. I don't think it's in the red zone of truth or in the red zone of false. Here's what I think is more so, and this is historically, especially with Black people. Whenever there's a kid, that's what they call a legacy kid. It's kind of like, because basketball is such a grassroots, a street game on the core of this sport in the United States. That is, meaning it's the core of it is you played somewhere on the concrete back in the days. That's how it was. And that's how, and then it arrived into the wood. Well, Steph Curry was kind of like the Richie Rich. He was born with the spoon in his mouth. So a lot of guys that had to go the long route to get there, whether it be Division I, whether it be to the pros, they felt like, man, you ain't validated. You kind of like how in Houston, I simplify this fraction. In Houston, for those of you guys that live in Houston, we just saw something similar with Austin Rivers. They saw it when he played with his own pappy in Los Angeles. For you West Coast viewers, think about, and for those that live there, you guys heard the stories and you knew what was going on with Chris Paul and Austin Rivers when they were in with the Clippers. He was the coach's son, and nobody respected him, even though Austin Rivers in the high school scene in Grassroots, he earned all of it. But for those guys waiting on him around across at the next level up, they never gave them his props. And it's like that. Can you think of any son, even when the young fella from the Golden State Warriors son played for the New York Knicks? People, when he first got there, they didn't give him they didn't give him his. It's kind of like that though. For a lot of legacy kids, I say it again, Steph Curry happened to be the legacy kid, that he happens to be light skinned. So that light skin theory.
Grant Hill. What about Grant Hill?
Grant Hill was another yes. Legacy kid.
Yes.
And you saw how he came. Understand? Grant Hill, for as many people that tried to push back against it, he would make one of them plays. He would make one of them dunks back in the days. He would win, and you would have to kind of like hush back, and he would seem like he was exception to the rule. So that's kind of like what it is. That's what I have on that. I really believe it's more so people don't give guys a lot of credit that didn't come from the fabric or the core of the game.
I feel you. No, listen, man. It's not about being mad about it. It's a real thing. I'm just telling you. I've sat in recruiting meetings. Okay. I've sat in recruiting meetings, and I sit there and I just shake my head. I'd be like, "Ooh, okay, really? Like, was that really just said? You know, well, why we can't recruit that guy? I really think he can play. Man, look what family he's from, man. I don't know if I want a tougher dude in the locker room. Well, what does that mean? What is that code for? You know? So, Lori heard me on Sirius XM Radio talk about my book. Shout out to Lori Dotson. Lori, you still broke my heart, and you didn't bring your son to Texas Tech. We're not gonna gloss over that, Lori. Even though you're my girl, you ain't bring him to Texas Tech.
Your bag wasn't big enough. Your bag wasn't big enough.
I didn't deliver bags. I'm not a bag.
Now
man.
That's why you didn't get him.
I'm not a bag man. I don't cheat. I'm creative.
Ain't no sense in us reading your book then. If your book ain't giving up the game, ain't no sense in us reading your book.
That's a different book. It's about something different. It's not about that. That book's coming out soon. And you gonna get it too, because your name is Glad too, trash bag man, because you deliver some trash bags. So don't start with it.
He admitted he delivered some.
I'm in front of my story. I'm in front of my narrative.
Jimmy admitted that he's a deliverer.
And guess what? I'm one of the few that's in front of their own narrative. I gave it all away. So that's what makes it so great. You got to be in front of your narrative. Thank you, Hannah, for reminding them that.
Let me ask you a question. So now that we're not scripted, let me ask y'all a question. And Hatter been in the AAU game. You right, Hatter. You better put your head down. And wow, Walter Yates, you something else. Boy, these dudes on the chop shop. Jimmy, when an AAU coach or third person of influence helps a kid, helps a family, right? Is it cheating or is it doing the right thing? Because they don't have.
Well, according to the NCAA rules, it's cheating. But according to our community rules, you're helping out. Can you imagine how many light bills and water bills and that I've paid? Yes.
So you can't legislate morality, is what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, but I wasn't gonna let them be in the dark. You follow me? You can't let no. You hold up. If you're going and picking up a kid every day, and then you see the lights out, and you just not do nothing. Come on, man.
He can't buy school clothes.
Come
what
on,
do you
man.
do? The NCAA says
you got to do something.
The NCAA says, hold on. The NCAA says, because I don't work for the NCAA. The NCAA says if you do that, you're a personal influence. The NCAA says that is bad. You shouldn't do that.
Yes.
But that same NCAA is going to profit off this dude when he goes to college. But he tells you can't. I'll never get this. I won't say who the kid is. I'm driving him around. He said, Coach, it's Mother's Day, which is funny because it's Mother's Day this weekend. That's why it came up in my brain.
Right.
It's Mother's Day. And I want to get my mama something for Mother's Day. Can you take me to the mall and help me get my mama something for Mother's Day?
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely, unequivocally, yes.
Yes. Yes.
But the NCAA says, you shouldn't do stuff like that. You're influencing that kid because you can help him do stuff. So what point does influencing leave the equation and being a person that's doing something positive in his life enter the equation? That's the question. Jimmy, when are you not a dude that's taking advantage of him? That's what I'm trying to say. Y'all tell me that.
Ooh.
When is what? What's it? Hold up. When is what?
Think about it. When you're doing something you're a person of influence, both ways, right? Two ways. They can go sideways. When are you a person that's influencing his life the right way? And when are you a person that's influencing life the wrong way? Because people say when you buy stuff for kids, you're doing it for a reason. When you give them stuff, you're doing it for a reason.
Yeah.
But if you want to help the dude get something from his mom for Mother's Day, are you part of the problem or are you part of the solution? What are you teaching them? So Hattie, I got a kid everybody wants, right? I got more resources, or I don't have a problem spending my resources on my kids. And I'm like, listen, we're going to get all the mamas something for Mother's Day. Some people be like, man, Chris Walker's just trying to buy them dudes, man. He's just trying to buy those guys, man. Why would he do that? Well, somebody else may say on the other, hey, man, that's unbelievable that he would do that and show them that he should get, and the kid can't afford to get something from his mother for Mother's Day, and Chris Walker going to provide that. Because people going to look at it from a different set of lenses, right or wrong, Jim? You tell me, Adam.
Perfect example.
Yeah, it depends on the person. Because if you want a reason to dislike or discredit or try to attempt to devalue that person, then that is going to be it. If you like the person or you are looking for a reason to value that person, to prop him up, then that would be that reason as well. That's the gray area, the taboo. And as far as taking care of looking out for the kids. And the way that it goes is those are pre-existing relations. If there's a pre-existing relationship, and that's the verbiage from the NCAA. A pre-existing relationship has often been used in to prevent a lot of people from getting.
But they don't let you.
trouble.
But that doesn't matter anymore. That rule's been gone. They've eradicated that. It don't matter if it's pre-existing or not.
Yeah, they took that out, Jim.
But
no. I thought he was talking about back in. He was talking about back in the day.
Oh yeah, you talking about. But I'm gonna show you something so unique, Chris. And they just explained this to me because I thought about it, and they never brought this up. But I remember, because Mother's Day I think EYBL used to have a big tournament during Mother's Day, didn't it, Jimmy? Because that
was one of the stops for EYBL.
That was one of the stops. So I remember Penny. And his little team, he had the little young team, Team Penny. And instead of the mama, he rented 2 big luxury buses for all the kids' moms and their aunties to come to where their kids were. Because a lot of mamas probably couldn't afford it. And they had hotel rooms and everything, had flowers in each room for the kids. Now, but that was, now that I think of it, that was a benefit that wasn't offered to every kid in the EYBL. So the NCAA probably would have found something wrong with that.
But Hannah, here's my problem with the NCAA. Mm-hmm. When you're dealing with kids who can't afford to do something,
right?
Not that I have anything against the Texans Titans guy from back in the day that would fly to people on private planes.
Yes.
But they're not talking about him being a POI, right? The guy at the POI is a quote unquote dude who's trying to be a handler. Is the guy that's flying the plane, the Texas Titans plane, not a handler, Jimmy? Is he not a handler? You tell me, Jimmy. That guy not a handler?
What
I don't know if he's on his payroll. Is he not a handler?
No, well, in the sense of it, that's the whole thing. That's the term handler has always been, when it was derived from the street agent, because the street agent, I guess, was just too not necessarily too slanderish. Well, the handler was derived towards that black guy who was affiliated with those kids. So when they give those terms, it was because most of the star kids that was in grassroots basketball, most of them in America was black kids. That's why when we see a Chet Holmgren come through, we go Google, and Chet is good. Chet is going to play in the NBA. I don't know how long, we don't know, depending on what team you get there, but he's validated. And there's been other guys that came before Chet that was validated in grassroots. Hell, they get to college and kind of level on off. But the handler is code for the black guy that controls the kid and can be not controlled by the main by the
That's a great point. It's a great point
by the whole infrastructure.
Because Trauber was never called a handler.
Exactly. That's my point.
It's a great point.
But why is that?
The pumps wasn't called handlers. The pumps were embraced by the establishment, and the pumps
and could give a party at the NCAA Final Four and have half of them in that party.
No, remember the athletic directors meeting I told you about every year they did. That's probably that one weekend raises annually. Extract the pandemic year out of the thing. Every year, Chris Walker, approximately how much money would you estimate?
Money.
No, just seriously. Guesstimate, but people don't really realize these are all athletic directors and administrators with a splash of head coaches that are in LA area every year for one weekend. How much do they probably raise annually? Donations. People give to these people.
Who raising the money? Who you talking about?
They raise it for a nonprofit.
Their foundation.
Oh yeah, they give a big party in LA. Everybody goes to. So
it's more than the party.
No. I'm talking about the gala that they give with Magic. Them shows up, but it's a foundation for their parents, wasn't it? What's the foundation for?
For cancer. For the foundation.
Yes.
So when the NCAA
they raised over $1 million over on the average of the past 5 years.
Yeah,
$1 million.
Okay. Hey,
remember. So the question is this, guys.
They're not called.
Let's go back to the question. Let's go back to the question.
You got the complexion for protection.
Come on, there you go. The question is, why is it now? Again, I'm not trying to step on the ant bed. We're the chop shop. We need to uncover this because they're not going to hear this on ESPN.
Okay, got it.
Why is it that when a black guy is doing this exact same thing, he's called a handler, a street guy, right? But when it's someone who has influence in other culture, he's someone who's helping the kids. Y'all understand where I'm coming from? Taking them out of their environment and helping them. When the handler, quote unquote handler, is flying them to Vegas too. He's just doing it on Southwest. He's not taking them to Papa Do's. He's taking them to Chick-fil-A. Y'all dig where I'm coming from? He's not staying at the Marriott with massive points. He's staying at the Circus. They're doing the same thing, guys.
David Salinas, before he killed himself, was probably the biggest handler of his time in Houston. Because when I say of his time, because he actually got people in positions and moved needles. His son got a job at Kansas State. He was in control and had his hands on all the way through, obviously because of the money management and de facto money management company that he had. But the J. David Group, understand, they didn't call him a handler. They embraced David Salinas. David Salinas gave a party every year at the Final Four. That was frequently about it. Matter of fact, college coaches entrusted so much of David Salinas. Know what they did? They invested millions of dollars into his coffers, into his Ponzi scheme. That was what it be later be known as. But that's a good question. Why do we? And I would amend the Chris Walker's question, Adam. Why have for so many years Black folk has been basically have never pushed back to that directive that's of being of the handler, when you know, and we know it.
Well, how could they pick back? How could they push back? Chris went off the screen. I didn't see that. My bad.
Yeah,
I'm a bad producer right now. Keep going.
And well, how can they push back? That one way they can push back is get people can have the defense of that person instead of saying. A lot of times when the person identified as the handler, then the source or the objective, they will just kind of like quieten down.
Keep going. We good, Jimmy. We good.
We're not on the screen.
I know it. I got it. I'm working. Keep going.
And often that's what would happen. That person would just shy down because, well, I don't want to say nothing. I don't want to get him in trouble. Get him in trouble for what? If you're defending, if that at the time back in the days that relationship was pre-existing, then how are you gonna get in trouble? If he was helping the family out and y'all been out there in the front yard drinking beer or hanging out or going to cookouts. If he happens to be the one to go and buy the drink this week or go buy the barbecue the next week or go and sponsor the crawfish ball the week after that. If it happens when even the third grade, then what's the problem? Back in the days, talking about the old school way of doing it. But then nobody would have that guy's back. And that's, like I say, that would be the word, because when you use the word, it's a code to let people know that's a bad person, handler, street agent. That means like that person ain't got shit else to do in their life. That's all they do. And that's the thing. Why has it been little pushback for our people, for people helping your kids to be called pig in the hole of such?
You know what? This reminds me. I wish Chris was back on the show, because we was talking about things. He was talking about being in the room and at the table. The reason, Jimmy, they can sit and can say those things. See, I tell people a long time ago, it ain't what they called you, it's what you answer to. I'm glad he's back. It's not what they call you, Jimmy. It's who you answer, what you gonna answer to. It's not, they can call you what the hell you want to. You don't have to answer that. But I was just thinking about how we solve these problems. I know I've learned one thing about being around these high profile people, and they call the rules. They make their own rules, man. They are important. But the rule makers are in the room, Chris. See, we got a lot of people making these rules. If the people in the room decide something is broken, is there's a problem, they'll fix it. They'll invent another rule to make it work. Our problem is we don't have people making the rules. All we can do, we got to be this. I sit there and said, Alan Branch, one of my favorite quotes from him. He said, Robert, this is a black man's game and a white man's business. We are not, we got some guys that do things. We got Jimmy that gives a big bet. We got Buff that give a big bet. We got but man, you got, Chris, have you ever heard of the term called, before anybody Google it, have you ever heard of a term called the C-suites?
Oh, yeah.
Chris, you ain't never heard that term. Oh, yeah. The C-suites.
Yeah.
The C-suites.
Corporate level, yeah.
Yeah. No. The CEO level.
The upper room. Yeah, the CEO, you know, C-suite,
if you're the
CEO,
CFO, the CEO, the
CIO, yeah.
Yeah. There you go, Chris. You know, y'all got to realize these people, even in this sphere, like Jimmy said, the pumps know somebody in the C-suites. I mean, and they act like, and sometimes y'all, if it's a problem, if they feel it's a problem, NCAA, then they address it. Our problem is we don't have nobody in the C-suites.
Well, that's what we've been talking about, Hatter.
I know. That's why I said I'm glad you came back. Yeah. Come on with it. I got something else after.
So what I'm saying is, how do we forget about the NBA dudes? I'm gonna say those dudes. It's too late for them. They chopped me up because I ain't got a background, man. Y'all gotta take care of me. Let's forget about them for a second. The dudes in the league, right? How do we change this narrative now? At the level where we're talking about the chop shop of us having a new breed of kids that are coming out, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
How do we start getting them in a situation, right? Through internships, you know, through our connections with teams. Hey, man, we need to get this, you know, we need you to mentor this kid. How do we start getting our guys? Is it all just about money? Or can we position them and put them on the trajectory to maybe get inside the C-suite? For instance, Robert Hatter's sons got a chance to get in the C-suite.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody, Robert, can't go to Cornell. Everybody can't go to Cornell.
Right.
So we got to find some alternative routes to get there. It's like GPS. I tell everybody, your life is like a GPS. Success is on the other side, right? And there's a GPS. Everybody don't have a straight line. Some people got to go over some rivers. Well, guess what? You might not have a boat. So it means you may have to go all the way around. That GPS is scrambled like crazy when you have a direction you're trying to get to. What's the GPS to success for you? Right or wrong? Because we all don't have the same destination. So getting there is very different, right? And as I said before, how can we get it? It ain't just about playing in the NBA to say that you can go from the NBA to the C-suite. Because guess what? Most of them dudes in the C-suite, they ain't playing the NBA. So what are we talking about?
The guys who own the teams didn't play in the NBA.
But then, so why is the narrative? So do you feel that the narrative is probably far outdated, that's been used for decades, to whereas a person ain't never played a game, so how in the hell could he do this? How can Jimmy Hicks be qualified to watch these kids and evaluate these kids? He's never played the game. But then you just identified and just alluded and just confessed to the fact that we've hit this nail in the wood several times.
Yeah.
Most of the people on that side in the administration now, a growing number of them, have never played the game past high school.
Okay, so here's my point. So if that's the case, and we got the chop shop here, and we got all these people listening to us on the feed.
Okay.
How can we start? Instead of talking about where you're ranked, you go on, Hatter.
Who's at the top of the food chain? Who's at the top of the food chain in this summer basketball? Because that's what we're talking about, right? Chris, would you agree?
Well, it starts there.
Okay.
It starts there because before these guys become pros, they got to play at this level.
Yeah. We ain't talking about the pros yet. Let's talk at this level right here. Because it seems like this the level we can have the most effect in. Because yes,
that's true.
You follow me? It just seemed, because I was just thinking about, man, I'm looking, because I was talking to you yesterday, and you were talking about, you went on, and I was just thinking about the people in the C-suites, and a lot of people don't understand this, Chris, you know it, but these are the people these are the people who decide what contracts you get. They decide what banks you bank at. They decide where they're going to invest their money. They decide the employment practices. Who in this industry, parallel, when I'm telling you about, I want you to parallel, and then I'm going to come back to you with a solution. They decide on the promotion. Now, hold up. These C-suite people, they give some black charity. They give some people the black charity every now and then. Here, you got this over here. But, Chris, we are not represented in the room. And it affects our community because we're not represented in the room. And it's just, and guess what? And it's just, I'm not just talking about the effect of individual career. Come on, you can jump in at any time.
Okay, what I was going to tell you was, okay, so you talk about redlining, right? If people know what redlining.
Keep going.
Does that also mean that we don't have people in the bank that understand our situation? You know what I'm saying? That would be more lenient when it comes to lending money. But so you know, my grandmother used to tell me, she said, son, I worked at Nabisco all my life. That's when Nabisco had the plant. She said, tell me why this lady right here, who looks different than me, makes the same money I make. Right, Jimmy? And I go to South Hall and she go to Tanglewood. We make the same money, Jimmy.
Because her husband might make more money than you do.
Maybe not.
Okay.
Back then. Because her daddy worked, her husband worked too. But the question was, who's giving out the money at the banks? Who's doing the lending, to your point about who's making the decision in the C-suites? So it's not just C-suites in the NBA. There's C-suites all around and everything that's going on. So think about it, Hatter.
Thank you.
To change the room, we got to stop talking about sports. We need to get some of us and some of these other C-suites.
Oh, homeboy, let me tell you something you said. The reason I said it, you remember yesterday we was talking about Eric Bieniemy? And you said about Hatter, well, why did this man so qualified that they're not hiring him? Because those 32 guys, those 32 owners just said they didn't. But it's not just in sports, Chris. What I want to tell you today, go to these top universities, go to Berkeley, go to Harvard, go to UT, and look for how many tenured professors there are. It just ain't happening in sports. Look at Yale, look at Michigan. This is happening everywhere. Don't think in America. I'm finna help y'all out. I'm finna help you, Chris. This gonna blow you away. In America, being a Supreme Court clerk is one of the most important things you can do in the legal field. Okay? One of the most, listen now, y'all got to hear what I just said. Being a Supreme Court clerk is one of the most important things you can do in the legal field. Check these numbers out, Jimmy, between 2005 and 2018, there were 487 law clerks. 487 law clerks between 2005 and 2018. Chris, only 20 of them were black. 4%. All of this time, listen to what I'm saying. You got to hear what I said at the beginning. The Supreme Court law clerk is one of the most important things. That's the highest of highest if you get in your field. But out of 487 in that time, but 20 of them were black. Rick Wilmore gonna love this one. Even Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who is the icon of the progressive left, only had one black law clerk in 25 years. Shannon is a lawyer. He's on here right now. Thank you, Shannon. Listen, Chris, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who we was all, was she the bad?
Hatter.
Yeah.
Why?
Let me get there. What I was trying to tell you, that is, I think it's ideology cult. I just think it's happening across all geography, Chris. You was talking about sports. I'm just telling you, it's in the law industry, it's in everything. You talking about why? Because these people are in power. These people are in power. They just chose 20 black people, and you asking me why? Chris, it's inside of them people, man. It's just inside of people Say it again.
You're talking again, right? They have what you call an inner life and an outer life. So the outer life is what you're talking about right now. You're talking about these are the things that are happening. And I want to go back to summer basketball. And now I'm talking about the inner life, things that we can change. I'm with you. If the other people aren't going to change, I get it. And we need George Floyd to make them do to give us some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about what can we do within our community to take some stuff. Is that possible?
But if we don't own it, how you gonna take somebody else's own?
Well, you can become smarter and you can have a trade that people will pay for. People will pay if you have intelligence. People ain't gonna pay if you're stupid. I'm sorry, I don't care who you are. They're not gonna pay if you don't. They got nothing to offer you. But why is it just like I said before, you're telling me that someone thinks that black people, because we dominate football and basketball, that we're better athletes and we're more inclined to play those sports when we don't play hockey and we don't play baseball no more. But we don't represent anything in Silicon Valley because we don't have that ability. Like the elevator don't go all the way up. We don't have that chip in our head that we can figure out algorithms. Like we can't. Emmanuel Iganosa that went to Baylor, that went to Stanford from Bel Air High School. Jimmy know where I'm coming from. Do you know how many kids in Houston there are like that? And they running around talking about this basketball mess? I'm just telling you.
But what? Hold on. Okay. Let's use him. Okay. Brilliant mind, right? They gave me a figure the other day with Amazon. Silicon Valley is worse. So y'all got to realize I'm doing a lot of reading. I'm reading this article, and I haven't finished it yet, called The 4% Problem. They said nearly in every sector, Chris, when I went research when you talk, in every sector, black exclusion stalls at around 4%. That's not enough. Here's how we do better. So guess what? The author is Jamal Simmons. Go look it up, the 4% problem, and let all of us try to find this problem. Because, Chris, these companies like Amazon, they talked about Amazon had got 25 high-level managers, managers, okay? Out of the 25, it ain't but one is black. What's that? 4%. They was just showing you how it's just certain. So as smart as your guy is, how he gonna get in at Apple? How he gonna get in at Amazon? As smart as your guy is. And Landon Ardwan said we got to build our own. How do you build your own Supreme Court system? Landon Ardwan. How do you? So how do you build, Jimmy? You let's say y'all got this hierarchy. I'm gonna put it where the ghost can get it. Y'all got this hierarchy with event operators. It's the holy grail. If you don't work in this, if you ain't in this environment, you will never make it in this business if you're not in this environment. And y'all keep certain people. Y'all have 487 black guys over that time, Jimmy. You, Buff, and all y'all. Y'all have 487 black guys, right? And ain't but 20 of them white. Can you imagine what white people will do? See, we got to get organized and say, how in the hell, 2005 to 2018, almost 500 people because Jimmy, the reason I said it is because people who don't know, lawyers know, if you clerk on the Supreme Court, Jimmy, you're set for life. I'm going to repeat that. If you clerk on the Supreme Court, Chris, you're set for life. But hold up. And the Supreme Court is what? A government entity. Aren't you a taxpayer? Jimmy, you a taxpayer? This is a government entity that's doing this.
Somebody just said Clarence Thomas should only have black clerks. They don't know Clarence Thomas, do they? Oh, my God. You don't know Clarence Thomas then saying that. Jimmy, so why can't we get these black AAU coaches to make sure the black head coaches are successful?
Here's the thing. If there was a mass understanding and the effort to do so, then it could happen. Like it could happen. It would have to be a collaborated effort, not just from one. It would have to be a real collaborative, meaning that, for example, let's look at the Big 12 right now. The Big 12 has never had such a saturation of black assistant coaches as will have this upcoming season.
No black head coach. You know that, right?
Huh?
No black head coach.
They got one.
No black. They got one.
Mike
Boyne. Yeah.
Yeah, they got
Boyne,
one.
Yeah.
They got one. But so think about it like this. At University of Texas, right? The black assistants, you have Rodney Terry. You have Uric Malagy. You had
Jarence Howard.
I thought somebody said something. You have Jarence, who was just at Kansas, right? That's the 3 assistants on the road. And we're not even talking about we're talking about the black assistants. That's at UT, right? At Baylor, we got Tang, we got AB3, right? That's 5. At Texas Tech, they just have what's his name just left Arkansas and with
Corey Williams.
Corey, and then also they have another one. Somebody else just went there. They have 2 there.
Talvin Hester.
Right? Talvin. That's like 8. That's 8 right now. That's just those 3 schools. Then you go and you look at TCU, who has 2.
Tony
right?
Benford and Dwayne Broussard.
Right. Then you go over to Oklahoma State, whom they just added 2 over there, and including what's our the guy was at Creighton. Creighton.
Ryan Miller. He's gone now.
No, the assistant coach from Creighton. The boy from New York City played at University of Texas. What am I man gonna blame?
Terrence
Richard.
Terrence Richard.
Yeah, he's at Oklahoma State now, right? Mm-hmm. So Oklahoma State. So my thing is that's about 12, and that's not even getting up to the northern schools, to Kansas, where little Jeremy's there. Used to be at HBU back in the days. He now moves up in the Jaren's spot. But my point is feeding those guys. So that means you have to make a conscious effort, not even skipping the fact that now I'm thinking about U of H right now, who has 3 on the assistant coaching staff, or going to be 3, 2 for sure. Well, how it has to be a conscious effort, because that means now you got a star player, Chris. Who do you give him to? You're trying to help all those guys.
Well, I'm talking about the black head coach. I get what you're saying about this.
But most of the black head coaches have to be a collaborative effort as well. But then for you to help that black head coach, that means them other guys, those other assistants I just named, just the ones I just named in this region of the United States, they have saturated the market one or the other, so they gonna need help as well. So for you to selectively help that particular black coach, that means he would have to have some a hell of a recruiting up under him to make it. Would have to be a person that believes in helping their people. That have to be inside of the parent of the kid they're recruiting to make that happen.
So think about what you're saying. We just listened to Hatter say what he said about the Supreme Court clerks, right? So the 2 things have to be happening. A, we would assume if that's what's happening, there aren't any blacks that are qualified. I would say that's not the case. Okay. So then it must be intentional then. Right? So why is it when we get on our side, we talk about something that we actually control, we got to be collaborative and we got to have all these bells and whistles. We just can't be intentional about what we're trying to do. Because the minute we try to be intentional, right? Oh man, y'all doing reverse racism. Oh, that's not right. Those same black assistant coaches who work for white coaches will say, oh man, you don't have to do that, until they become what, Jimmy? A black head coach. I'm not saying it's right, but what I'm saying is if the AAU coaches have control, they can say, I want Patrick Ewing to be successful. I want Conzo Martin to be successful. I want Mike Boynton. He ain't got to hire the son. He ain't got to hire the brother. We're going to give him to him anyway. That's what I'm saying. That's what's going on in that world. That's the world that we control now. Think about it. We control that world. It ain't many worlds that we control. That's one of them. The same world that $1 billion industry profits from. Right? I'm going to tell you another world. Haddock could talk about this. The same world when they go sign those contracts with agents, another $1 billion industry that if we wanted to, we could control because we could choose the agent. Do you understand that?
I say that, they look at me like I'm crazy. They look at me like I'm crazy when I say that.
We're talking about choosing. Like, ain't no laws that say you got to choose a certain agent. Ain't no laws that say you got to choose a certain coach. We control it.
It's not good to say.
And we do what? We give it away.
They don't understand
now,
that.
They control it. Guess what they do? Control it. When we control it, what we do, Hatter? Give it away.
Chris, I was just thinking about what you.
Now, when in your coaching career,
right, that
expanded approximately over 2 decades as a Division I coach, you, Chris Walker. For those that you guys are just tuning into the Chop Shop, we ask you to share the show right now to your timelines. Give us a thumbs up if you're on the YouTube. Now, in your career, name the Black grassroots coaches that made.
No, I'm not going to name coaches. I'm not going to do that. I don't want to put people on blast. I'm not going to name people.
No. I said putting them on blast. I said name the ones that made a conscious effort to help the Black head coach.
I'll name one. I only know one I
know a couple.
And he on the West Coast.
And that's Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid, yeah.
Kool-Aid. Yeah. People now explain to them what Kool-Aid theory was. Because he made it. It was like Kool-Aid had no shame in his game when I was in earshot.
Inland Empire.
And
it's Inland Empire.
Okay, and what did he do?
Bottom line, his thing was, hey, I'm going to help Black coaches. I'm going to help Melvin. Remember Melvin with that Texas A&M?
Melvin Watkins.
Conzo Martin, right? Mm-hmm. And Rob Evans, when he was the head coach at Arizona State, he made an effort. He did not care. If he had a really good player, he is going to send them to a certain person. And so what I'm saying is, and I'm looking at what Stacey's saying. And Stacey, I know better than you know better than what you just writing right there. You know better than that. Mr. Walker, the summer coaches don't control summer basketball the way you think they do. Parents are in more control than you think. That is not true. I'm telling you right now. I mean, I shouldn't say that's not true. It may be more true today than it was back when I was doing it because I'm not doing summer basketball anymore. But I told y'all the other day about importance and influence. These coaches have more influence than people want to give them credit for. And if they put ingrained in the kid's head, this is what we're doing. And I'm not saying, and it's only a couple of Black coaches. It's not like we're saying don't go to Baylor and play for Scott Drew. He's a great dude. I'm not saying that. What? But why do I have to feel bad if I want to send a player to Kelvin Sampson because he's an African-American coach? Why do I have to feel bad about that? Why do you have to feel? I'm not saying Chris Beard's not a great guy. I work with Chris Beard, tremendous guy. But why do I have to feel bad because I'm being intentional and I want to send Mike Brown because I want my kid to play for African American coach? Am I right? Am I wrong, Hatter? I'm just saying.
Chris, you're
mad about it.
You're preaching to the choir of it, Chris. Chris, I'm telling you, Chris. I don't know how many months ago I came on this show. These are my exact words. I said, what if the summer coach, Black summer coach, and the Black high school coach, what if they would have ever realized how much power that they had? They could take, there was no reason, if they understood how much power they had. No, there's no reason Leonard Hamilton, Penny Hardaway, what's his name, Dwight Howard, Juwan Howard, these guys, all of these guys should be in the Final Four each year if these guys realize how much power that they will. Well, whoever the other person is with them, since Stacey said the coach don't have no power, well, whoever the other dude with the power, whoever the other dude is, he probably Black too. So throw him in there too. We'll call him the
Uncle
the
Junior,
ancillary piece, huh?
Yeah,
we'll call him the ancillary piece.
Right.
If those guys realize how much power that they have, and I said this, and people look at me like I was crazy. Thank you for confirming. And it's possible. It ain't like it's gonna change. I mean, it ain't. Wait a minute. You're giving the player giving them away anyway to the white coach. He might give you a little something, but he ain't changing your life. So
all I'm saying is it's an area where we have control. Listen. I worked with white coaches. I recruited for them. I'm friends. I got white friends. I'm not talking about that. All I'm saying is if I go to the bank and I can afford a $2 million house and they won't give me a loan for it, that's something they control. And guess what? They put that on my head every single day. And what I'm not saying it's revenge. It's not revenge. What I'm saying is it's an area we can control where we can help one of our own the same way we're talking about elections. Listen, guys, when it's time for elections, what do black politicians do? What do black politicians do? They come in the black community and says, how can you vote for that dude over there and not vote for me? And I'm black. Am I right or wrong? Black politicians can't win without black people voting for them. Right or wrong?
Absolutely right.
Raphael Warnock would not be in Congress. Would not be in the Senate if it were not for black voters. Barack Obama would not be president if it not Sylvester Turner. But when I said about basketball, people got a problem with it.
Chris,
this is crazy.
Just maybe the people in the basketball community need to raise their level of awareness up. That's all I've been trying to do. Because I see, and not to say that I'm not saying that they just don't know. And I think people want to keep them dumb so they can never know, so people can keep taking advantage of them. But man, it's a new day. Because if that community is bigger and better and smarter and wiser, guess what? Our kids gonna be bigger and better and smarter and wiser. Because guess what? These kids listening to these same people, Chris, who gonna look at you crazy because you said what you said.
I'm just saying there's very few sectors in this world that we control, and that's one of them.
Yes.
The same way with tell people it's because the CBA is about to explode in the NBA, but you know more than me.
Oh yeah, it's not necessarily it's going to explode. It's just going to. The players have more power.
So how much of a percentage? Again, how much of a percentage when a guy signs a $200 million contract, the agent gets how much?
Normally, you're supposed to get 4%.
4%
to 3 to 4%. That's what's in. But guess what? These guys don't want to pay nothing. These guys don't want to pay. I don't want to get in there. I want to get in there.
I get you. But even if they're paying 1%, 1% of 200 million is a lot of money. All right, 2% of 200 million is a lot of money.
Okay,
for an agent. Now give you four. You got 4 players like that. 200. Right, think about it.
And it's hold up now. Remember, it's over the hold up. It's over the term of the contract. It's not all given in one time because some people see that $100 million. It's not given at $2 million at a time. Some people look at it.
I get
Chris. I'm not talking to you.
No.
I'm explaining. We got people out here that might not understand that. Okay, come on.
I got you.
All right.
I guess what I'm saying is, again, I'm talking about a place where we have control, Jimmy.
Okay.
Where the player has the ability to choose his agent.
And to choose his college he go to.
Choose.
Yes.
Jimmy?
That's the only power you have, Chris. Chris, I've said
Jimmy,
that.
Where else in society do we have that type of power, Jimmy?
It's not in too many sectors. And you have to realize this is a power struggle. And I think during the course of like you mentioned a while ago, yes, parents have a lot more power now. Parents had power back in the days. Parents just wasn't cracking the whip with the power as it is now because of more things that were done in the dark are no longer all the way in the dark in today's recruitment. Everything, a lot of things that used to be somewhat, a secret is no longer a secret anymore in recruitment. A lot of people have their mask off, and so that means parents are more aggressive in the efforts and the recruitment of their kids. For the most part, they're still understand. We're talking about a hell of a gap for that parent on one end. The parents of let's say a Cade Cunningham. There's a hell of a gap from the haves and the have-nots when it comes to the information and the understanding. Everybody, now the thing where because we're talking about that 1/10 of 1%, but for the masses, it's the 99th percentile, and those are the ones who think that their baby is the equivalent of the Cade Cunningham situation, and that ain't true. And that's when a lot of people get hit upside the head with reality. But back to when you go out to the parents, we preach it all the time on the Chop Shop. We
told Jeremy
hit this nail on the head.
Yeah.
Huh?
I was saying, Jeremy talking about why haven't nobody been teaching? If you've been listening to this show for 5 years or however many years, if you ain't learned, let me tell you something. There's a lot of people go in the classroom, but everybody don't make a A. Everybody don't retain what they hear. So maybe you need to go back and look at the old shows, because sometimes, Jimmy, I was thinking about something the other day, because I keep seeing stuff on this feed. And I was just thinking, Jimmy, if you got something you can interview, but go on, Jimmy. Come on. You about to say something.
No, one of the things we said with power, and we applied it right to Grassroots. Mm-hmm. And you guys, I know you have to have heard me say this twice in the past month. Mm-hmm. I said, when we were talking about the prices, we had a topic about a week ago, Chris, about the astronomical or the surge in admission prices for spectators to get in a lot of these grassroots events. And my thing was I gave solution. And one of the solutions that I submitted to the Boom Boom Room was, if 3 parents or more from any one program, especially if 2 of those 3 are starters, was to get with that grassroots coach and say, listen, man, we're not going, our babies ain't going on that trip to that whatever city y'all going in. We ain't going until you find out, because we're not going to pay this much to get in for entry fee per day. That pressure is now on that coach. That coach know what he's going to do. Chris, you've been a summer grassroots coach in between, while you were cooling off periods between head coaching jobs. Between college coaching jobs. Chris, if parents came to you with 3 of them at one time collectively and ambushed you with that, know what you're going to do? You're going to try to come up with a solution. You're going to call that event operator. Hey man, look, man, can you give my parents a group? Give them a group rate. Give us a group rate. Because we ain't gonna be able to come. That means now you passing the buck and you trying to solve with him. That event director is gonna help you solve your problem, or he's gonna say, man, I ain't got nothing to do with that. That ain't my business. That ain't my problem. That's your problem to solve. No, B, you're gonna go in your pocket and you're gonna buy them parents a weekend pass your damn self, and that'll be your solution. But no matter what happens, those parents made you solve a problem that they had, and that's what we've been saying on the Chop Shop for weeks, for months. Parents, you have the power. The thing is, you have to galvanize with your fellow parents in order to create a change in whatever you're trying to do. It has to be a coerced collective effort.
So what you're saying is, go on, Heather.
Go on, Chris. No.
So what you're saying is, so now what you're saying is the players, Kevin Freeman crazy. It's not on the AAU coaches, even if they get it, it's the parents that don't get it. They don't care about that. Is that what you're saying? Because that's what you're saying. Because even if I get it as a summer coach and it's something that I believe in, hey man, it's important to me that Dave Lato at DePaul doesn't get fired. I think we can have a chance to help this dude. Let's be intentional about sending our players there. And the parents said, well, it don't matter to me whether the coach black or white. I'm going to send him where I think he got the best chance. It don't matter to me if the agent black or white. They don't say that, do they, Hatter? They don't say if it don't matter to me if the agent black or white.
Not really, but you know what they're thinking. But keep going. They don't say it.
You know what they think.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, guys, I'm not saying, I don't want this to come off. I tell people all the time, it's not about being pro-black. It's about being proud black. You dig where I'm coming from? I'm proud black. I ain't pro-black. I got white friends. I work with people. This is ridiculous. It's the world
you sound like them, Chris. Don't say that, Chris. You sound like them.
I'm
I got
proud
black
black.
friends. I got black friends, but I'm finna go.
I'm an American.
I got black friends, but I'm finna be an insurrectionist. Don't do that.
I,
Keep going.
again, I said it again. Let me make my point. It's my stance, not yours. I'm proud black.
Okay.
So I work with people of the other hue. I have friends of the other hue. Ain't no problem with that. But when it comes to helping on my own, I'm down with that. That's the whole I'm saying. I'm down with that. I ain't got no problem with that because I know if I don't do it, who will? So if Chris, I'm in a position.
What I've been finding out is, Chris, you can't teach a person something that he believes he already knows. And half of these parents, half of these college, high school coaches, half of these people think they already know it. Chris, they got the answer. It's hard to teach a person. Like one lady, I think what she said, and I don't know how she meant it, but I'm gonna show you how to tell. She said that's part of the problem. Why do we depend on people to teach us? That's how you learn. People teaching you. That's how you learn. But back to what I said again, Chris. You can't teach a person something that they believe they already know. And I know that's going over some people's head. These people think they know it all already, Chris. They think they got all the answers. I didn't got over. My son's already in the NBA.
That's very few of them. As Jimmy said, that's the 1%.
Yes, the 1%. But I'm just telling you.
But
come on.
Can I address something I saw on the feed?
Okay.
And I know Stacey said, I'm not attacking Stacey, but Stacey, we all know Stacey, he family. Mm-hmm. And how do you know this too? Mm-hmm. Why is it? And maybe I'm wrong, guys. And Jimmy, I want to direct this right at Jimmy because I'm going at him because I know he got an answer for this. Why is it, Jimmy? I already been on had a head about this already. That when we deal with somebody that's African American and they don't follow through on something, they are damned. We'll never do anything else with them. They damned for the rest of their life. They got a stain on them.
Death sentence.
Right?
Yes.
But when it comes to the other culture, we will forgive them time and time again.
A lot of times, black folks, we often give each other a life sentence without parole for a misdemeanor. And that's just how it goes with us. And I think that part of the scars, because we inside either two things. Number one, either you really didn't like that person to begin with, and you just needed any little old excuse to give him that life.
You think that's what it is? You think that's what it is?
That could be one. Don't get it twisted. Some people understand. Some people, that's how they think. Some people. I know people in my family, and we've said this before in the chop shop, whereas a lot of my kinfolk, they don't even come around anymore by default. You know why? Because they came early on in the past and they've asked to borrow some money, and I've loaned money to family members. That's a mistake by fault, though. I mean, a conscious mistake. I mean, I'm willing to make it on purpose. You know why? Because I'm willing to give you based on what I think you're worth. I'm not giving you what you're asking for. But I'm going to give you something. Because I mean, if you don't come good on that money, then I know you ain't going to even come around no more. I know you ain't going to even ask me for no more money no more. So that means I know I'm basically paying you to leave me the hell alone. That means otherwise I don't have to give you that. Like I done gave you that. I can go around and call you like ain't nothing wrong. I'm basically look for any reason because otherwise, number one, I really didn't want you around me in the first damn place. I knew that's all you wanted. Wasn't no money, you wouldn't call me at all. So go back to your point. A lot of people look for reasons. Look for reasons, Chris. Believe that.
Chris, I got one.
But let's elevate it beyond that.
Chris, we're going to elevate. I love that. I'm finna elevate the conversation a little bit.
Go on.
Talk to a young man. And he told me, he said, Mr. Hatter, I know these white folks might F me. Okay? I know these, let's say it's white Asian. I know this white agent gonna, I know he gonna, but it'll really, really hurt me if this black agent. That's how he thought. That's how he think now. It'll really, really, really. I know
So
he
don't
gonna.
give you a chance.
So if he bent over, if he bent me over, he don't have to use no Vaseline. But if the black agent, I mean, Chris, it's like, I don't.
That's insane, man. But see, that's why I keep telling everybody, let's stop focusing on other cultures. We got some stuff in our own community we need to fix.
Hello.
We don't want to address that. We want to point the finger. We sit up here saying a summer basketball coach, Jimmy.
Yes.
Can't make, again, we're not saying make parents and make kids do stuff.
Right.
Explain the importance of saying, hey, man, I'm not saying Baylor's a great place. Scott Drew, great. I'm not saying Texas a great place. Hey, man, all I'm saying is if your daddy was the head coach at Oklahoma State, wouldn't we want to help him be successful?
Yep.
Wouldn't we want to help? Listen, can we find a way to help the next John Thompson? Can we help Kelvin Sampson? Like, what's wrong? We don't have to feel bad about that. Other cultures don't feel bad. You know what somebody told me the other day? Where's Blacktown at? I know they got Chinatown. I live in New York.
Wow.
Where's Blacktown at?
Wow.
Wherever Martin Luther King Street is.
No, we said Blacktown. Blacktown is different. Yeah, I know you've been facetious, but Blacktown means something. You go to Koreatown in LA, they run that town. You go,
right.
Black folk don't run the Martin Luther King Boulevard because everybody else owns the stuff on the block. So come on.
Exactly.
Come on.
You go to Korea, you go into certain areas here, right? They own the area they live in.
Yes. Yes.
So what I'm saying is, why are we not invested in that? That's why I get mad about these athletes and all this. Hey, man, what are you investing in? I'm doing this. Hey, man, buy back the neighborhoods, man. Invest in the neighborhoods and buy back the neighborhoods so we can control our own neighborhoods. I get it. You want to give money to DraftKings and you want to give money to this and that. I get it. But what are you doing for the people that made you where you are, that took you where you are? What are you doing for them people? I get it. I'm saying, Jim, like, all I'm saying is we give them a life sentence on money and all that kind of stuff. I understand that. But we give the other people a pass.
That's a good
and
word,
it keeps
Chris.
repeating itself. It keeps repeating itself. I'm not having a conversation. Family is different, guys. I'm gonna exclude family from this conversation.
I'm gonna go a little bit different, Chris. I'm gonna go because people, we got to understand this. And I know we like to stay down here sometimes. So you know, I was thinking about when I was looking at the people that you know, the Amazons and the Apples, you know, got some of our kids might grow up want to work for these companies. That's why I'm saying it. So all our kids ain't gonna be athletes. All of our kids ain't gonna be basketball players.
99% of them won't.
So let me show you something. When I talk about these companies and I talk about the power structure and how the government, a lot of these companies are dealing with have contracts with the government. The people that's why I asked you, Chris, don't you pay taxes? Stacey pay
a whole
taxes.
lot of too many damn taxes.
So guess what? And these companies don't demonstrate diversity in their corporate setups. In the C-suites, you know we ain't there. And Chris, that's our money too. And sometimes we keep forgetting. I'm going to show you how crazy. I was reading this, Chris. It's an interesting thing happened last October, Jimmy. The Securities and Exchange Commission. Some people don't know who that is. A lot of people do. That's the SEC. Right?
SEC.
The SEC, they know it's so bad. It's a government entity that the companies had to start divulging what they call human capital management. Chris, you're going to be able to use this in one of your speeches. The SEC, if you go human capital management, you got the companies who are listed with them. And guess what? They have to start telling about the people or the talent, their talent. They call it talent. Their diversity, how they're dealing with gender, how they're dealing with race. They have to list the people and the numbers. The SEC. It sounds small to y'all. It might sound small, but companies got to divulge that now. if you're listed, because the SEC know it's not fair. Check this out. And the place, and y'all got to listen to this one. The place that we got to keep our eye on, Chris Walker, is the Defense Department. And the reason the Defense Department, we talk about basketball. The Defense Department has the largest contracting budget of any agency in the United States of America. And only about 4% of their contracting happen to be with black companies. And you wonder why we ain't rich. And you be talking about, well, they holding us up. This a government.
But next question.
Okay.
So because we're trying to tie this into the basketball thing.
Okay, tie it in.
The question is, who's handing out the contracts, even to those 4%? And the other question is, if it was a black person in power, would they do it?
Well, it's a black person in power now. He's trying to change it. The new defense secretary. Hold up, Chris. But this is the first time in history we ever had one. Keep going.
Thank you. So think about it. But guess what? This ain't the first time in history we've had about 99% black AAU coaches with power. And you know what they scared to do? Exact that power.
But Chris,
afraid to do it.
Chris, you forgetting the power of your enemy. You forgetting the power of your enemy. Your enemy gonna insert people in. See, they can infiltrate us good. Ask my man Fred Hampton.
Ooh, ain't nobody saw that. Nobody saw
Yes, they did see it because I talked about it on the show. Chris, we know. Hold up. My man knew Fred Hampton was a great man. He knew what he was doing for his. He knew what he was doing for the AAU community. You know this guy doing something great in this community. You know this AAU's coach good. You know this high school coach good. But all I got to do is send somebody in there and pay him. He gonna get in there and learn the system and gonna tell it. He gonna tell it and gonna kill the whole thing. We see that's the problem in summer basketball because we got too many bought Negroes in this thing. We got too many guys that can be bought, Chris. Because what? A wise man told me one time, he on his feet, but how they ain't got nothing. They gonna take the money because they ain't got nothing, Hatter.
So Jimmy, what were you about to say, Jimmy?
I was going to ask you. You mentioned identifying the problem. You mentioned about the grassroots coaches, the black grassroots coaches, and assuming more power. Which there are a lot that run their own programs that are coaches. There are a few, so it ain't like it's none out there at all. However, what is your solution? What is your blueprint for somebody that's watching right now that may be a grassroots coach? That way they can take from this conversation and learn and probably, connect some dots with it. How can they get over the hump in this stuff?
Chris?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you good. We just waiting on you.
Can y'all hear me? So
we can hear you good.
This is what I would say, guys. I mentioned.
Okay.
I got you. Yeah, my batteries. I gotta grab my charger. But here's what I'll say again. In no way, shape, or form. All right. I'm not being militant when I say what I say. Okay. What I'm saying is there is an opportunity to educate the same way we try to educate people on the chop shop about investing in our own, about buying from our own, and empowering our own. That's I look at the feed. I look at what people read.
I know.
Right? If that's important to you, you have to want to be in good health. That has to be intentional. Because when you go to the stuff that you got,
Chris, you need to charge your battery up. Something's going on. Something is going on. It's skipping.
Chris is skipping on.
But the word he was using, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and so Chris is skipping right now. What
Chris,
you say?
The word he was using, Chris, y'all, is intentional. Go back and go back to some of the old Chop Shop shows. I said we got to be intentional. We have to be intentional about sharing this show. We have to be intentional about subscribing to this show. We have to be intentional. And I know Chris hadn't been watching the show that close. He's been busy. But he came back and said the same. All he did is confirm the words that I've been saying over the last few months. Thank you, Chris, again for confirming.
Right.
Being
But I'm going to say
Keep
it
going.
again.
Come on.
You're asking me, what can we do? I'm one man, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So
no, just give us an example. No. Just give an example what one person can do within one organization. Each one teach one. Give us an example on how they can flip, they can emerge forward from your speech.
So my thing is, I will say it again. You have to be intentional. Hey, is it important to play for a black? I will talk to a parent. Hey, here's the deal. Here's the kind of guy I am. Chris Walker believes, whether I was this way 10 years ago or not, I have evolved as a man, and I think this is important. I might not have thought this was important back then. I think it's important now. There are a lot of good men that look like us that don't get opportunities, and if they don't get some of the better players, it's going to be very hard for them to be successful. Now, if you don't like him, that's fine, but I'm going to make sure I present them as an option. That's what I'm going to do. I was like, that needs to be an option. Let's look at that. What's wrong with having someone of color leading your child before he becomes a man, right? Before he becomes employable, the world he's going to face. There's nothing wrong with that. First of all, it's hard as hell for black coaches to get jobs except for this year because a ton of them got jobs. So what I'm saying is you got to start educating them on the community and how things work in the world. And a lot of parents may profess to know that, but don't tell me that you're going to send your son to go to play for the University of Vermont and not send him to Texas Southern and play for Johnny Jones. What is in that mindset, Jimmy? We have to retrain the brain because it's in our communities the way we think like that. Just because March Madness is happening doesn't mean every team's playing in March Madness. 99% of them teams you look at are never playing March Madness. So make a decision beyond that. I had a kid the other day say, I want to play in March Madness. That's why I'm changing. Dude, what does March Madness got to do with you becoming a grown man one day and being influenced and led by the right person? So you make a decision based on that. Hey, go play for this coach over here, African-American, strong brother. He's accomplished. That's a great place for you to learn. I'm not interested in that. That's a problem in our community when they're growing up. We're not making them understand things as they grow up. They don't have pride. I'm not saying they don't have pride in self and they don't love black people. But who are the uncles and aunties? Who are the people of influence in their lives that make them think that's important? Because you know what, Jimmy, I'll be honest with you. It wasn't important. Jimmy, you and I grew up. Think about this. You and I grew up playing for who? Frank Seals. Right? The Braves. Pick us up every day. Take us everywhere, right or wrong. That's us. That's where we grew up. All of a sudden, we realized, well, we don't need to play for Frank Seals no more because they got better fields and this and that over there. Let's go play for them guys. That's how all of a sudden we get dragged into different directions, right? So now all of a sudden again, nothing wrong with it. Now I'm at Milby instead of going to Smiley. You see where I'm coming from? That's how it starts to happen. Now I'm at Milby, and now I'm at Villanova, right? People don't know this. I chose Villanova over Georgetown. That's a true story. And guess what I said coming out of high school? I want to play for a black coach. These are my last 4 schools when I chose in college. USC. Who was the head coach of USC, Jimmy? When
George
I came
Raveling.
out. George Raveling.
George. Yeah.
Minnesota. Who was the head coach at Minnesota? Clem Haskins. Georgetown. Who was the head coach at Georgetown? John Thompson. And I went to Villanova. That would never happen again today, bro. That would never happen today. But again, I'm not blaming my mom. I'm not blaming the people around me. It was important to me. I wanted to play for a black coach, but I still chose the other thing. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong because I had a great experience at Villanova. I'm just saying there weren't people in my life that made me understand it's important to divest back into your own people. And I'm telling you, we don't have to be ashamed to do that. Not pro-black, proud black. It's nothing wrong with wanting to support Raphael Warnock. It's nothing wrong with wanting to support Barack. People will tell you that a black man don't just vote for him just because he's black. Well, the other people vote for them just because they white. So I don't understand what's wrong with that. Why can't I want a black coach to be successful? Because all them black assistant coaches you mentioned at Texas, when they become black coaches, guess what? They ain't gonna say the same thing, man. They're gonna say the same thing, bro. Like, let's stop playing around here for a second. So I'm not trying to shame a white coach or shame anybody that's white. All I'm saying is, what's wrong with us wanting to help us win or get ahead? What's wrong with that, Jimmy? So you're telling me, by what you and Stacey saying, it's not the summer coach, it's the damn parents. That's what you're telling me.
Guys,
Jimmy, would that answer suffice to you? Because you asked the question. Was that good enough?
I asked for question towards solutions.
Okay. Was that solution good enough for you?
Well, it's not necessarily been good enough for me, because I'm asking for solutions for somebody that's watching that may want to detail what steps they need to make. So here's the thing. Chris mentioned about going and playing for a black coach. A lot of understand this stuff is twofold. There are a lot of black guys that are in charge of organizations or programs that don't have their shit together. They're unorganized.
See, you gotta see, look where you're going. Look where you're going, Jimmy. That's what happened.
No, we have to tighten up.
White guys ain't got their shit together either.
No. Understand something. So if you subscribe to the theory that we have to do twice as much in some cases to break even, that means it ain't gonna be equal what they got to do versus what we got to do. We have to tighten up ship on our side of the fence if you are going to harbor that change, meaning that resources. Who is we? Okay,
who is the we?
We meaning
you
black
folk. We have to tighten up our ship. Who is the we that has to tighten up our ship?
The black folk that tighten his shit up. The black guy that's running a program on his ass. When they got another guy over there, and you come over here to play for that program with the white guy running, and he got a sponsor, or he got a product sponsor, or he got a lot of things are more. They got a website running. They got and they got ways, to help with a lot of expenses that you would have to accrue if you go and with what you saying over
Jim. Jim, that's part of the problem right there. That's part of the problem, I'm telling you. Because the other dude got a little bit more paper than you and got a website, dude, and everything else, you saying, well, I'm going to put him there thinking that's best for him.
No. I'm saying that you have to, for every sacrifice, there is, even back in the civil rights movement, when there was a sacrifice made to not ride the buses, there was a movement and a galvanization that was done in order to help give people rides. So that means you have to galvanize within your program to help offset some things.
So that's what I'm saying. Having a pretty website is why you should let somebody go play for somebody.
No. You took the smallest thing of what I just said and run with it. That was a website.
Trying to figure out where you're going with this, because you started off by saying,
because if exposure, first of all, different people are after different things. We acknowledge, and I explain that different parents. First of all, Chris, as you just acknowledged, you've been away from the grassroots. Parents on a whole different level right now. And when I understand something, on this side of the ground, they are on a different level. Then I said to my collective, I'm talking about as far as the thinking they know what they want, the control factor. There's been people in control before, but now it's morphing a little bit. So the thing is, what I'm saying is that when in the selection process, if you are going to go and go over here, if you're going to go and play for John Urie, and if John Urie, if he don't have his stuff together, then what?
Jim, so Jim, let me tell you something. I'm not saying that there are black guys that don't have their stuff more together than others. That's where the affirmative action place comes in, where people will be like, well, don't just give it to them because they're black. Well, guess what? If the government don't step in, ain't no black people gonna get nothing. Do you understand that? Because we don't have the power. So when Hatter goes and does a presentation, And who's the guy at Octagon? Who's the big one from Octagon or wherever those guys in New York? That when they go do a presentation, do you really think that Hatters' presentation is not as good as theirs?
Tear the ass up. I've seen both. I've seen both presentations.
That's right. So what that guy will tell you is that Hatter is losing because his presentation ain't tight.
Yeah. Or Eric Bieniemy is losing because his interview wasn't tight.
Exactly. We gotta stop that.
Chris, I went into a meeting. That's why I'm gonna debunk this theory. And I said, what if I can prove to you? Chris, I asked the parents, sit down. I said, what if I can prove to you beyond a shadow of a doubt that I'm the best representation for your son? Would you go with me? Chris, did you hear what I said? I said, what if I prove to you that I'm the best for your son, would you go with me? Couldn't give you an answer.
So, but
it couldn't give you an answer. They said, I can, if I prove to you. See, it ain't about, I just don't like the blanket statement talking about people don't have their stuff together.
Yeah,
and I know, Jimmy, you've been around a lot of people who don't have their stuff together.
And I know Jimmy don't mean it that way, but I know what Jimmy's talking about.
I know.
I know what he's talking about.
But words are so, these words that come across these things are important. My thing is, and I said this, dude, if you can't afford to have an AAU program, don't have one. If you can't afford it, don't do it. This ain't for everybody. So but you won't make everybody else look bad. I'm going to tell you why. Say it again.
But you also got parents, right? Not on the girl side as much, not even close, Jimmy, and you know I'm right, who expect everything for nothing. They will go to BMW and know they got to pay. They will go to McDonald's and know they got to pay. Am I wrong, Jimmy? They will go to
Chris, that's why they couldn't agree with me, Chris. That's the parents that couldn't agree that
summer basketball, they shouldn't have to pay nothing. So how about summer? Man, don't get me started, man.
No. Go. Talk.
Because that's what I'm trying to tell you, where the importance of investing in our community. Because if some of these parents would say, you know what? I know I got to pay for lights. I know I got to pay for gas. But because my son could make a layup, I shouldn't have to pay for that. Oh, really? You shouldn't have to pay for that? And because someone else can come along, because if the parents paid and the coach, and they didn't hamstring the coach, maybe he could have a website. Maybe they could travel better. Because they invested in making sure he's successful instead of saying, man, if you can't hustle and get the money, then I don't want to play with you. That's what I'm trying to tell you, man.
Chris,
it's a group effort for us.
Chris, I'm going to do you one better. I did all that for them kids. They flew everything. Go ask any kid ever went to franchise. You knew how they flew. You knew how they ate. You knew how they lived. And a parent still told Jimmy, because I wouldn't let her and her family move into my house with me, told Jimmy, if you catch me playing on franchise, you put your feet in my ass.
Jimmy, is that true, Jimmy?
Hell yeah. He the one told me.
Jimmy, why is it that when black folks got a kid that can make a layup quicker than somebody else, they think they don't have to pay for nothing ever again? But everything else in their life, they got to pay for. But because their kid can do that, that absolves them of being responsible. But you know what? No,
because that's the market in grassroots basketball is set to that narrative.
By who?
You have a buyer and a seller, right? The buyer has set that market in grassroots basketball, meaning that, for example, just the same thing as far as in recruiting, the market is set, and I'm trying to think, are you guys acting surprised because you don't know?
No, we're not surprised. We trying to change the paradigm.
I've been out the game a long time. I ain't been out the game. I can go right back in this AAU game and do the same thing I did last time. right?
The market is set. But however,
who, Jimmy? By who? Ain't
the
no
buyer sets a market.
Who in the C-suites? Jimmy, who's in the C-suites? Who making the decision? That's why I started the show off with who is in the C-suites.
Understand something. When the buyer, that's an old the adage. Not necessarily mean you're buying. The person with the resources is the buyer. That's the adage I'm using. I'm saying the buyer, guys. The person with the resources who's in search of the product of which is the talent. The person with the resources and the talent is the seller. What I'm saying is the person with the resources set the market. In Texas, the market was reset along the time when the Texas Titans came on the scene. Whatever the market was before, it was reset at that time.
Because of private plane?
Ain't who else driving on a private plane, Jimmy? That market wasn't set.
The market was reset because here's what happened. If another team that wanted to compete for the players that they wanted, that means now you got to do something that you wasn't willing to do before. That's what I mean by resetting the market. So then now you have a Houston Hoops that really became the Dallas Hoops. You follow me? With certain players from out of Dallas, the market was set. So that means stuff was offered. Understand? So that means the market is officially. Then those kids agree to that. Those families agree to play and come down 45 and still wear a Houston Hoops uniform. That means once that happened, then the market was reset. That means now that's what it takes. Then you have another kid over on the other side of the fence. Well, Derek Griffin coming along to play. And so the market reset because now I'm
laughing at these people in the timeline. Do y'all understand? Let me tell y'all something. Hey, I'm trying to be cool, right? When y'all talk about summer basketball, let me tell y'all something. When I got into summer basketball, Jimmy knows this. When I took over Adidas and I started T-Mac, I used to talk to Jimmy every day. I said, Jimmy, how can I do this? I didn't know anything about summer basketball. Remember, Jimmy? When I first started, when I left.
Yeah.
And you know what I quickly learned how to, and that's what these people don't understand, right? I was a college coach. I played at Villanova. I'm from Houston. Why wouldn't they want to come play for me? Right, Jimmy? Right. But you know what? None of that mattered. You know what I learned? I got to level the playing field. The only way I can level the playing field, Jimmy know what I'm talking about, because the Houston Hoops traveled everybody for free and they did not have to pay. It didn't matter if you liked certain people or not. It only mattered if it was free.
So that means the market was already set.
So guess what I did? I made sure everything was free. And then guess what mattered after I made everything free? I was from Houston. And I gave them 20 times the gear that other people gave them. So when they say, "Oh, you can't do it," I was paying back then, guys, in 2003. The hell y'all talking about? It's always gonna be about resources because black people ain't got shit. So I already know that. But here's the deal. All I'm telling you is the same things are still happening. There's still 30 NBA teams. There's still 350 college teams. What are we talking about? Ain't no money changing hands. Ain't no AAU coaches becoming rich. What are we talking about? Guess who becoming richer? The coaches in college. So if it's important to you to help your own kind, let's find a way to put more Raphael Warnocks in power. We can do that because we control the choice.
And Chris,
your hat is driving a Maybach.
Chris, and it ain't got a Chris. It ain't Chris. We can't wait another 50 years to do it, y'all. Let me repeat that. We can't wait another 50 years. What'd you say?
I'm talking about, unless you paying. Who, scrubs? How many pros are coming out of the state of Texas? What are you paying for? You might as well burn that money. How much return you got on that franchise money that you invested?
Say it again.
What's the return on it? What's the return on that money you paid for all them kids?
0.
Thank you. So what are y'all talking about paying? Maybe that's the damn problem.
Hold up. And ain't nobody came back and said, man, thank you. and said, man, here,
you.
I mean, you got another program?
I went through that already. I explained that.
Yeah, you explained that.
I mean, a couple of times.
Dude, they got us chasing the rabbit. They got us chasing the rabbit around the thing.
But Chris, I did get something out of it.
I know.
You got your son. Your son is the only ray of sunshine that's gonna come out of that investment.
Yeah.
And know what? That same thing would apply for we mentioned the Texas Titan. Guess what? That man's son was involved. So that's a ray of sunshine for him.
Yeah.
We mentioned indirectly, we mentioned the Houston Hoops. That Steve Trauber, that was the ray of sunshine. It was worth, because guess what? The value of the money, if you think about the net worth of the person, it's probably still the same. If you look at it, his net worth, if it's $1 and our net worth is a penny, then guess what? If we give a penny and he give 10 cents or to give $1, then that's gonna be the same. So I understand. It's like Hal Pastor with the Houston Hoops. His investment was well worth the time. Guess what? He had Josh Pastor. Yeah. He did. He started the whole thing.
That was an investment, Chris. I didn't burn that money up, Chris.
You did. You burned it. Huh? You didn't get what you should have got out of it.
Now guess what?
Yeah.
If your son had not made it through college, if your son had not made it all the way through,
it's a one situation that I did benefit from. But I ain't gonna talk about it on there.
You know what I'm talking about.
Go.
But Jimmy, I'm gonna ask you a question, Jimmy, because I'm not attacking Paul Miranda, but I want people to hear this because first of all, when y'all say I'm not out of the game, I ain't out of the game. Y'all don't get it. Y'all just don't know everything.
I didn't say that.
No, I'm just saying when people say you haven't been around, y'all don't get it. There's a whole. Don't let that CBS stuff fool you. You're getting it twisted. But again, that's how you move like gangsters move in silence. What I'm trying to tell you is, they saying, oh, all of the elite players get free gear. Free gear? What are we talking about here? Free shoes? That's what we talking about? And Jimmy, let me ask you a question. You do your rankings. I know Stacey, them guys in Dallas. We go over this every year. We talk about elite players. How many players in your top 10 sign with Power 5 schools every year?
On the average,
because that's what we would consider elite.
On the average,
10. Yeah, on average.
On the
5?
On the average, probably about 4 to 5. So
think about what somebody just said. If you're not playing in the Power 5, you ain't elite. That's number one. In the third largest city in America, the hotbed of college basketball. You telling me you got ignorant people running around here paying for kids and only 4 to 5 kids are elite in the whole city?
Gonzaga ain't in the Power 5, or U of H ain't in the Power 5.
Okay,
so that's not elite.
I get it, but you hear my point, Jimmy. My point
is they are elite programs, though, Jimmy.
Okay, became relevant. So slow down. They just became relevant. You know my point. My point.
No, it's 3 years. 3 years. They were relevant 3 years ago when they lost to Michigan at the buzzer.
That's recent. That's recent.
Since you've been doing your rankings, and I still don't know who they paid for. Because other than Quinn Grimes and other than Tremont Mark, I don't know anybody that is the elite that people would have paid for. That's just me talking. My point is, Jimmy, you got people running around in the city of Houston with B and C list actors, and they paying A-list money. Come on, man. That's insane. That's called bad business and ignorance. That's what it's called. And you know what? You're right. The market's been set, and it's a bad market. You're right.
Well, it's been reset. Well, what's happening now, though, understand. See, it was reset during that time, but now there's an extraction. That's of anything, and I think the market is extracting. That's why a lot of sneaker companies, one is probably going to go out.
A lot of them are rechanging the way, rebranding. They're getting out of the game. They get a lot of these teams to stay there on the sneaker circuit and making them pay for gear. They're bringing. That's the extraction of it. I mean, as you can only expand so much. Then you start to retract. That's why I say my perfection is not attained when you can no longer add, but when you can no longer take away. And that's what's happening with a lot of one grassroots organization probably not going to even have a summer or grassroots circuit next summer. Nike is going to trim more fat off of their teams for next year. EYBL after this year
will never be the same again next year.
That's right. That's
you
true.
remember that? I'm saying it right now. The EYBL will never be the same next year.
I know what the plan is. Yeah, I know what the plan is. But my point to you, to get back to what we were talking about, because I'm trying to circle back, Hatter. We talk about helping Black coaches, and we talk about our community. The sneaker companies have already said this is some dumb mess that we're doing. Because only about one dude in 5 years gonna be a dude that we can get out of Houston. And you got AAU dudes letting parents off the hook and don't pay one dime talking about their elite. The sneaker companies already say this is a bunch of crap. We done fooled them long enough. We got to change our motto. And you still got parents running around going, well, my son can play. He shouldn't have to pay. And then blame the Black coach because he can't run them around like a dude that's rich and say they're not organized. Come on, man. That's nonsense, man. That's nonsense.
You preaching,
I
Red.
never asked the parent. I just don't get it, man. I don't get it. I don't get it. So the mentality never changes, because if I ask that parent to do the same thing, you know what that parent be saying? If they open up a Caribbean restaurant or soul food restaurant, you know what they be asking the Black community to do? Support them. That's what they be asking. Right or wrong, you tell me. But when it comes to summer basketball, you go to the other person because they got a better website or they pay for a hotel room for you. Come on, man. We need to stop that nonsense, man. We need to stop that nonsense, bro. That's real talk.
And guys, there you have it. Of course, we can go on all day on it. You know it. It's Baby Friday on the Chop Shop. That's how we roll and rock. This is the perfect time for you to share the show right now. Share the show right now to your timelines, to your friend. Simply just go and when you're watching, look at the bottom, hit the share button, share the show. And don't be selfish. Share the show. We're just talking about it. Let this show breathe around the country, around the world wide internet. But anyway, guys, it was a great convo today. Great topics we went
Jimmy,
through.
before we get off though, the women in commemorative of Mother's Day, I want to get off the show and find out. We got several people that have already responded, but I want to make sure. Let me find my notes right here. I want to make sure that we get to the Anthony Lawrence collection is going to give a gift to any woman is a mother. She got to be a mother. Commemorative, commemorative of Mother's Day. They're gonna give you a gift. So just send me if you went to like Howard, let me see, Arkansas Pine Bluff. I'm trying to find the rest of the Arkansas Pine Bluff. Not TSU. TSU stuff is coming soon, y'all. So it's coming soon, but they don't have it yet. But all the Black colleges, so get that information in today, because I'm going to turn it all over to the Anthony Lawrence collection tonight. And make sure you got your address on there, and you'll get a free gift for Mother's Day from the Chop Shop and the Anthony Lawrence collection. Let me make sure I got that information. But send that chopshophtx@gmail.com. If you went to one of those, Jimmy, I don't have it right in front of me, and it's making me mad that I don't have all their names in front of me. But we'll figure it out. But what else you got, Jimmy? Happy Mother's Day too to the women this weekend.
That's pretty much it. We got one question I want to toss to Chris Walker. This is fitting for him.
No, I'm done talking. I'm done answering questions.
No, we got
Chris,
one.
Don't do it like that.
It's one good one. It's coming from a YouTube Boom Boom Room, and that's from Sensei. He asked, why is it just about everything that comes up wrong, everything that's wrong with AAU on the parents?
Somebody just said that the parents make all the decisions. The parents control everything. That's what somebody said. It's not on the AAU coach. And I'm not telling parents to be upset.
Wait a minute. Jimmy,
don't know what the hell is going on.
Jimmy, who kids playing? Wait a minute. Who's the mammy?
Oh, man.
When something happened, I'm going to the mama. But hold up, I got that information, y'all. Howard University, University of Arkansas Pine Bluff, Xavier University. If your mother went to, you know a mother who went to one of those in Louisiana, Prairie View, Hampton University, Winston-Salem State, FMU, Grambling, Jackson State, Alcorn, or Southern University, we got a gift for you. Send us the email. But back to Sensei.
Man,
the parent
dude,
is always.
Let me tell you something, man. I've been recruiting for 20-some years. I still do some type of recruiting.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you right now, I sit there with parents and I just shake my damn head because they will do no research. They will fall for anything most times. They think they know everything. And I'm telling you, they do not use logic. You think they do, but they don't. They won't. They're going to go to who's bigger, who's better, who's paying more. So if that's the parent, that's what the blame is going to be like. You don't have to play for certain AAU coaches. You can choose. You can make choices. They're your kids. So who else we going to blame? Who else we going to blame?
Hey.
Come on. This is crazy. Just because a couple of parents do the right thing, they don't understand, Jimmy. We're talking about the mass. We're not talking about the few that do it right. We're not talking about those. Because those ones that do it right, usually they damn kid can't even play. Okay? They can't even play. And you don't want to hear that.
Chris.
They payers. Jimmy, you know what we say? They're payers and not play. They're players. I'm sorry. They're payers and not players.
Chris.
They payers. See, the payers don't understand what it's like to be a player.
Chris, what did I say earlier? Hold up, Jimmy. We got to extend this. What did I say earlier, Chris? What? No. What did I say earlier? I said, when somebody think they know, and you're trying to tell them, Chris, Sensei came back and said the coaches and the directors are in the clear blue. Hell no, ain't nobody saying the coaches.
Ain't nobody saying that. Nobody's saying that. No one's saying that.
Man, it's hard, man. It's hard, but it's fair. But I'm gonna repeat it one more time. Chris, you can't teach Sensei. We can't teach a person who something that they believe and already know. Sensei, you believe and already know that it's the coaches and the directors. Because ain't nothing we can say up here that's going to help you. Ain't nothing.
Tell them the story about the dude again. When you signed the dude, the kid made the decision, and then you tried to do the right thing and take him to his parents, and look what happened.
The parent, hold up, the daddy was finna. Hey, the daddy weighed about 300 pounds. I'm trying to get out of that house. I don't know what the hell y'all. That daddy talking about he finna whoop his son, and that's 300 versus 300. I got the hell out of there. But let me tell you something. Parents, y'all take responsibility. What parents? Kim said the coaches, Kim, you hold up, Kim. You listen, because I see you co-signing that mess. Kim, if you find a coach that think they know everything, take him somewhere else.
Exactly. But you know why they won't do that? But they give them free shoes and they fly for free. So I'll tolerate it. I'll say this all the time and people laugh. When a kid got good grades and he's a great student, guess what people say? He must have great what?
Parents.
But when a kid is a knucklehead and truant and don't act right and do X, Y, and Z, you know what them parents say? I don't know what's wrong with that kid.
Oh, no, they don't. No, they don't, Chris. Not to know the parents don't do that.
They don't want to be bad parents, Jimmy. Jimmy, am I right or wrong, Jimmy? When it's great parents, they all happy at the water cooler. Little Johnny got an A in science, this and that. The minute it's the other way, oh, you know what? That's his dad's side.
Hold up. Kim said, great question, Sensei. Great answer, Chris Walker. Great answer, Chris Walker. A coach think they can't be. Jimmy, hold on, Chris. She said a coach think they can't be told anything. Well, get away from that coach, Kim.
Exactly.
Gosh, you know, do you have to be with that coach, Jimmy, you said this stuff is like crack. You said these people got to have this. He said, man, this blue magic. They got to have it. Kim, you're sounding like Kim. You don't have to play AAU basketball. What we talked about earlier, it's a choice, Chris. It's a choice. You know, in general, Kim, if you go, let's say I go to Chris Walker's team. I'm finna help you. Kim, Chris Walker ain't listening. Let me go to Bobby Binion team. Then I can go to John. Hell no, I ain't going to John Ewing.
So then, where does that part about the loyalty come in? Factor into
loyalty.
That?
No, Jamie, I got a new term. Jamie, you know our new term? Loyalty until he make me mad. That's the new loyalty.
You know what the Bible said? The Bible said, woman, right? Woman, right? What they say? Follow your husband only if he
follow Christ.
That's what they say.
Follow him as he follow Christ. Yeah.
Husband, women submit to your husband only if he submits to God.
And Chris, don't go there, because he did say husband commit to your wife too. And a lot of guys leave that out of there. Yes. No, we got to say it.
You can keep moving around till you get it right, is what I'm saying.
Move around till
okay, but I'm saying, but that's another topic for next week, because that same kid who moves around like that same sets of parents who move their kid around like that, they get slighted in this game, and that's the whole thing.
Not if he can play.
Well, no, you're right. Not if he can really play. But if he really can play, the narrative changed, because he's not leaving for those same reasons. He's leaving because he's outgrown that program. He's leaving because he needs to play on a bigger stage. So, you know what I'm saying? So that's what happens with that narrative.
Jimmy,
the kid that can play.
I ain't never got mad at nobody. I told y'all, LeBron James made this thing mobile. It's all right. I got a question. Chris, you ain't in the same job you first had.
Man, I don't understand why people got a problem with it.
I'm moving around.
You know who else ain't in the same job? The people on this damn feed.
Yeah, they ain't in the same. You ain't got the same woman you used to have.
Come on, man.
Ain't none of them got the same woman they used to have. I'm the same man. So how the hell? Well, I just got this. Hold up, Chris. I'm just so devoted to my summer coach. He don't listen to me, but I just got to be on this team. Hell no, parents. Take your power back today. And I don't care what these clowns say about you when you change team. Now.
Man, do you know how many conversations, Jimmy, have been had when you get to, I don't like to call them boo-boo teams, when some kid comes out of nowhere and ends up being good, and one of them sneaker teams comes at parent, and they can be the sleaziest dude in the world, and they get that parent that speech, and what happened the next week, what uniform they got on. So don't tell me that's not what happens. I've seen it happen time and time again. No, we're loyal to him. And all of a sudden, but you can play on the EYBL. So where does that loyalty go then? As a parent, you know what your job is? To put your kid in the best situation, because that's your kid. I don't never blame a parent for doing what's best for their kid.
Chris, one of my favorite players, Rasheed Suleiman, right in the height of the of franchise all-star. Hey, you know how we had in practice? Jimmy right now, he over there laughing. You know how you had in practices, and the dudes don't show up, and then somebody call you. How he was at the host practice today. Man,
let me tell you something.
I love that kid to this day, though. Huh?
And what happened?
He was going like a turkey through the cone.
Yo, you know what I used to do? The Friday of my games, I make all my kids come stay with me. I ain't play that, man. Jimmy, you know how I used to do. Jimmy, the Friday of the.
But let me tell you something, Chris.
Chris, I had a
Chris, that EYBL.
Hey. To that coach that want to make a difference, you gotta use one of your bedrooms as refuge for if you want to keep them. I'm just telling you, in today, that's the only way you're gonna keep them.
That mammy tried to stay in my house. I wasn't letting her and her two kids come to my house. Hell no, I'm not letting that gorilla come and stay in my house. You get the hell out of here.
That mammy thought you was Shallow Hal. That's what she thought. He thought you was Shallow Hal. You gonna get a big draws, baby, and you gonna big draws.
Hey, man, tell Doug Jones. Hey, Doug Jones, you family. Don't be putting family business out there, Doug Jones. Look what Doug Jones wrote. What's wrong with you?
Hey. I'm just saying though, but that's what you have to do. Get up out of here. Altuve with the 3-run dinger and the
Yeah.
taking the lead. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, Jimmy, we stayed on so long. Look who came on the show. What's up, Mark Edwards? Mark Edwards popped on the show. Mark Edwards popped on the show, man. But yeah, that man.
Hey, trash can now. But of all the people hit a 3-run home run, Mr. Trash Can himself.
Hold on. Let me make this perfectly clear, Jimmy. Rick Brown said, "What if she was fine, Hatter? Then the facts changed, the truth changed. She wasn't fine enough. You're right. She wasn't fine enough.
No, don't say enough. Don't say enough. She wasn't fine at all.
Well, I'm trying to be nice, Jimmy. I'm trying to be nice. Shit, she can pick me and you up.
Hey,
literally.
The thighs on her blue jeans was white. Put it like that. Let's leave it like that.
Hey man, hey man, thank you, Chris, man. Hey man, this dude here, man.
Hatter was a gorilla.
No,
he was like he one of them big cookie monsters.
Yeah,
Hatter one big cookie.
Hey, when we get off the air, I was ready to tell you what's up, man.
Say, man, and this is one of the things once again I remind you guys about the Chop Shop. What we do, we enlighten you, we inform you, we educate you. We also and this show was on Baby Friday was indeed. Hopefully, if you have enough energy and enough positive energy to go through the rest of your workday. Don't forget, this is Baby Friday for us. It's Thursday for you. Meaning you guys make sure you be careful, be safe the rest of the work week. Guys, don't forget it is Mother's Day weekend. So if you are able to, make sure you honor all of the mothers that you encompass. If I was a grassroots coaches out there, give you some word to the wise. That is, if I was you, I would go, and I'm gonna tell you where you can go and get you a dozen roses or so, and give one to each of the mothers in your program for this weekend. Absolutely. When you guys have practice. Absolutely. Do that. Where you can get the cheapest, the best deal on some flowers, go to Kroger's. That's the best deal in the land.
Can I tell you this, Jimmy? Not only get them something, like don't give a man a fish, teach a man to fish. Give them to the kids, make the kids go.
Give it to them, mom. There you go.
As a thank you for everything.
Good call. Good call. And let them do it. You know, as a game or something. That'll be a kind of let the whole gym see that. They're like them coaches do when they come with the tennis shoes. Yes. They could have gave the tennis shoes at practice tonight. Why they got to bring the shoe boxes to the gym? So do the same type of stop the game.
That same energy, like you say, that same energy.
I like that.
Keep that same energy. And that's what we want to do. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for everybody for tuning to the Chop Shop. You guys making it for what it has become. We'll be right back at you guys on Monday. Make sure, feel free over the weekend. If something going on, PGW alert, your PGW force, I want you guys to be in full activation mode this weekend. You see something crazy? Snap a picture of it, make a video, and we will be sure to air it if possible on Monday. Why? Because we've learned when grown folks see themselves in an embarrassing situation, they would tend to not make that same mistake the same way again. They may make a mistake, but not the same way. So this is the effort. It's not necessarily for us to laugh at, but it's the effort to embarrass their ass for sitting there and for them embarrassing their kids and the other kids as well. So make sure you send us that chopshophtx@gmail.com is the email address. Once again, chopshophtx@gmail.com. Follow us on social media. Our Twitter handles are right at the bottom. You see down here, down there. Follow us on all our social media platforms. Take a screenshot with your cell phone because you don't have time to write all this stuff down. Just screenshot it right now with your cell phone, and you can follow us later on during the week. Also, lastly,
hey man, what y'all gonna do next week? I'm in Houston. I'm in Houston with y'all next week. We got to get this thing worked out.
Yeah, we're gonna get this ball. We got. You know what?
Got to make sure
you know what, Hatter? We might have one day, maybe one day, maybe Tuesday. We'll go into the studio.
Okay.
Because people don't believe that we actually have a radio station we can go in.
Hey, we got to remember, who we are to each other. We can't worry about what we are to them kind of people. They ain't gonna never.
I mean, but that way, Chris, that way we can all have that. We can have that ambiance being in the same room.
Okay.
We can go over to the station. To the station,
and
we do it from the TV, from the radio station. But
we gotta
anyway,
let Chris get here first, because if somebody whispers something in his ear, he'll change his mind.
No, I'll be there.
You know, you're gonna be all right.
And tell Chris Charles, you damn right, them Lakers coming. LeBron playing possum, but keep going though.
I saw something. And Paul Miranda.
Monday is the day to have that conversation, because it was definitely going to be a shift in balance in those standings by the time Monday come around. Don't forget, once again, rcssports.com. Be sure to go there. You get the recaps of the All-Star games that took place earlier this week. Jeffrey Day did a great job on that. Going to the VIP news, Doug Jones has it updated and populated with a lot of tasty news from around the Great Houston area. That's the VIP news on rcssports.com. Speaking of Doug Jones, don't forget the Doug's Dozen tournament will take place May the 21st through the 23rd at the gym located in Atascocita. May the 21st through the 23rd, the Doug's Dozen tournament will take place. But however, next weekend, JRB Events is back in action. Grassroots coaches, if you're looking for an event, May the 14th through the 16th. May the 14th through the 16th. That is the summer prep showcase Elite 36 will take place, and this event is going to be good right now.
But Jim, I want to give my people the shout out up in Dallas. They're having a good tournament up in Dallas. I don't know much about it, but I know you going up there. So they're having a big tournament in Dallas.
Anybody from Houston gonna be good?
Is a lot of our kids going up there?
Well, it's a few in Houston. Understand? We are judged by our sneaker teams. When you say KL3 program is going to be, that's the only sneaker sponsored program from Houston that's going to be in Dallas. The Houston Hoops is going up into the Kansas City, and the Houston Defenders are going to South Carolina to Jeff Snyder's event. Okay. So those are our three sneaker programs.
So who's going to Jeff Snyder's event?
The Defenders.
And Jeff Snyder, a white dude.
Yeah.
Is the dude up there in Dallas, he a black guy?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the shit I'm talking about. But now we can answer. That's the shit I'm talking about. But keep going. I didn't mean to say that word. I ain't mean to say that, y'all. But that's stuff I'm talking about.
Hold on. But the coach of the Houston Hoops is what?
I don't care if he's orange.
What I'm saying,
what color is the players? What color is the players?
I'm saying, but he supports if that same attitude.
Oh, he said the Defenders. He said the Defenders.
I said the Defenders.
Oh, but you said both. You said the whole.
I said the Defenders going there.
Oh, yeah. Defenders are going to South Carolina.
Yeah.
And the Hoops are going to Kansas City.
Yeah, Kansas City. Well, yeah, same thing. Well, what color the players? That's all I'm talking about. The power we have. The power. That's all. Chris, when we talk about the power, man, Chris, you got to come. Oh, you gonna be here next week. We're gonna talk about
I'll be on next week.
We're gonna work this power dynamic out next week. Yeah. See you tomorrow.
Well, y'all gonna have an uprising for John Uri then if you're doing that. So chop. I can't wait for that because that means you're gonna fall. I can't wait till Monday. It's gonna be a fun day on Monday. It's gonna be a John Uri uprising. If you're gonna do that, we're gonna go down that. Let's go at it then. We'll see you guys. It's time to slide down Dino's back and Yabba Dabba do this thing on this Baby Friday for Chris Walker, Robert Hatter, Jim Hicks, also known as Hatter the Hat and the Hater. Over there. See you guys on Monday. Make sure you share the show on the way out. Chop. We'll let Chris Walker give it his famous. Chris.
We go, Jimmy. We go.
Jim Hicks. Rob Hatter. You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop.